Hello, I am Gregory the Poor Typist, and welcome to another edition of Typer Club Live. Today, our topic is what are your common mistakes when typing? So this should be interesting. There's those mistakes that we all share, I'm sure. But what are some of your common mistakes when typing? We would love to know. And as always, I'll remind you that Type Pals is and always will be free. So if you enjoy writing letters or postcards, feel free to join us at typepals.com/join. Yes. Excellent. So yeah, we have a couple people joining us already. A few people now.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Katie?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good.
We're tidying up our minimalism. No, it's not minimalism. Our Maximus typewriter. So I had to put this shelf because that had to go.
Oh,
So I have too many tools. I have a ridiculous amount of tools. So I'm excited. Yeah, it's a good day. I'm
yeah.
happy to be with you guys right now.
Excellent. Now, remind me, have you been on before?
I don't think I have been here before.
Okay, well, welcome. Did you want to
Yeah.
tell us a little about yourself?
Yeah, I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm a typewriter collector of 5 years, and I've got 190 typewriters, and
Wow.
yeah, so these are just like the Coronas, those gotta go for sure. And then I also have a small book collection, so I've got some books here to get through, and this was my new one I got for my birthday. Yeah,
Nice.
the 1936 Underwood, and
Yeah.
got a typing chart. That's an original OEM. So
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
and I'm Typewriter Alliance on Instagram. So and
Ah,
then yeah. So anyway, just thought
very
I'd
cool.
jump on and say hi.
Yeah. Now, what do you most often use your typewriters for?
Writing to people, of
Okay.
course. I mean, what else is there to use them
I
for?
know. Well, some people do journaling, some people do their to-do lists or write a book, that sort of thing. So,
Yeah, I
yeah.
do a lot of correspondence, or I try to. Yeah. And then also, really, it's a form of therapy because you can tell your typewriter anything and then you can just throw the page away.
Exactly. Yes, yes.
So, yeah. Thanks for having
Cool.
this space. It's really nice to have it.
You are welcome. And
Yeah.
it's finally sorry, it's good that we finally got you on here.
Yeah. I just, my friend was like, I joined last Saturday night for the social hour. And not
Okay.
last night, though. I got up early today to do things. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, thank you.
Of course, of course. Yeah, the Saturday night one, that's here it's not too bad because it's from what, 8 to 11 or something like that. I'm Pacific, so in California, but for some people that's pretty late at night. So
Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah.
think I stayed up till, I don't know, 2 or something last week. It was
Oh my
very
goodness.
early.
It's my
Yeah,
fault.
not your fault at all. It was great. So,
That's
thank you.
awesome. Well, I'm
Yeah.
really glad that people are enjoying that space because, some people don't want to come on here and be on YouTube and all that. So it's another space where people can go and meet and hang out. So yeah,
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Great.
Excellent. Well, our topic today is about typing mistakes. Do you have a common typing mistake that you make?
Oh, usually it's the typewriter that makes the mistake. That's not me. I'm perfect. I don't make
Okay,
mistakes.
I like
Um,
that.
yeah, I I think a lot of times it's really just our brain goes faster than we can type. And so a lot of times if I'm writing something and I just run out of that bandwidth to be able to type. Sometimes I'll just crack open my voice recorder to get an idea out so that I don't lose track of something. But a lot of times I'll also just X over a mistake. And sometimes you can just keep typing and a different narrative will come out, you know. Hello, Susan.
Hi, Katie.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. Texas, right?
Yep, Texas.
Excellent. I'm in St. Paul. Yeah, I was just showing off not really showing off. This is the bane of my existence, the typewriter Coroma thing. And well, so right now that is normally where the vertical display shelf is with all the colors. And
Right.
then over here is the numerous array of other typewriters. So it goes back 2 rows. And it's a
Wow.
lot. Oh yeah. And then there's some, I've been rearranging my bike. I have 4 bikes. And so then I have like that whole shelf full of stuff. So there's a lot here. So anyway.
Whoa.
So Typewriter Alliance. I'm on Instagram and I have an eBay store too, because I'm trying to get rid of my tools also slowly. So yeah, X over
Excellent.
it. That's all I got to say about that. There's no mistake.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
That's great.
so wonderful.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
stand by. Thank you, Greg.
Okay. Thank you so much for being on. Yeah, I often do that as well. I used to do the correct type, the little correction strips. Half the time I don't even know where I have it. So it's like, I'll just exit out. Or sometimes I'll just type the correct character over it and just assume the person is going to figure it out. Oh yeah. Brenda, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Very good, very good. Yeah. Anything new with you?
Well, I kind of fixed my Corona 3 by adjusting the what is the universal bar, I guess it's called, you know, that
Yes.
everything hits. That
Yes.
seemed to be the problem. So that was good. The other thing I am trying to get my guts up is to take the feed rollers out because they have a flat spot.
Oh.
But I'm afraid, I'm afraid right now, so I'm not going to do it. But I want to try to get that out so I can what do you call that? Shrink wrap it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't want to like bend, like it seems like you can bend the part that's holding it in, but I don't want to, I'm afraid if I bend it, I'm going to break it off. So I haven't got my guts up yet. So, but,
Okay.
and I still have no glitter on the purple typewriter. So, but yeah, nothing's happening. Just, I'm here. I showed up.
Yeah, excellent.
Just to hang out.
And who's that you have with you today?
This is little Miss Hazel. You remember her, my Pomeranian. This is my baby. Yeah, so she's hanging
Nice.
out.
Excellent.
Yeah. So hopefully they don't bark and make a lot of noise, but I'll be on mute. So,
Oh, okay. It'll be fun.
you know. Okay.
Do you have any common typing mistakes that you make?
I think sometimes I think faster than I want to, than I'm going. And then sometimes I forget that I have to shift, do the shift. And I'm like, or I shift when I'm not supposed to. I'm like, what? So,
Yeah.
but
Exactly.
no biggie.
Very good. Very good. Well, it's so good to see you.
Good to be here. Good to see you guys.
Excellent. Excellent. And Brian, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. And nothing too exciting going on. I got my Underwood Star all working correctly, and I got the new feed for it from Ted.
Oh, nice.
And Ted also gave me a typewriter. He gave me his Aztec 700. So I have that someplace around here, over there, and it works pretty good.
So did you guys meet up, or
well, we did?
Or,
we went out for lunch yesterday.
Nice. Nice.
Didn't find anything great thrifting, but it was good to get out and see people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know what else I'm doing. Too much. He gave me a notebook too, so I'm part of the club.
Oh, cool.
You see a stamp right there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. My friend Co is very interested in saying hello to me today.
Yeah.
Stay real close.
Excellent. I see your amp plugged in.
Oh yeah, it's been plugged in. It's just now that I have this widescreen, you can see it all the time.
Oh, okay.
I'll have
Okay.
to make it look more appealing later, so people don't keep talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I always keep it plugged in. If I want to play, I just pull the guitar down and it's always hooked up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
Yeah,
cool.
just saying hi to everybody. Hi.
Yeah, very cool.
Oh, hey, I had something to say.
Yeah.
Brenda and maybe Katie also, if that was talking before, you both have those articulated fluorescent lights.
Oh, yeah.
I do too. It's
Yeah,
yeah?
so
up on the top
I'll
of
show you my
book.
dazer lamp so you can see.
Maybe you can see it from here.
Well, do you guys remember me telling you about that guy that lived in my house and I got all of his stuff? You know,
Oh my
he killed
gosh.
himself.
Oh,
But that's where I
Oh,
got
yeah.
mine. Hey, it's the same thing. That's where I got my lamp from. I love this thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a
It's
dazer.
awesome.
That's my
I'm-
dazer lamp.
I've got the kind that clamps to the desk. It doesn't,
Okay.
doesn't
Yeah,
have
I've got
that, doesn't have
this
that base on it.
big,
Oh,
thick,
very cool.
heavy base
Yeah.
on mine.
Pedal frills are these are the shit. Just saying. Okay. Yeah, this is my dazer lamp. It's like the one in Toy Story that like becomes animated.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
very nice.
Yeah. That
Oh,
I
yeah.
got this for $15 at the store. And then
Wow.
since we're here, oh my gosh, I found these in my grandma's closet. I got those on eBay.
Fantastic.
Shit's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I don't mean to swear. These are
Okay.
expensive.
I'm sure.
1990.
Yeah.
Anyway, that
Wow.
didn't leave me there. This is my love right here.
Torpedo.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Bluebird.
Bluebird.
Yeah.
The British
This one
torpedo.
came from Typewriter Seller.
Hmm.
If you know him.
Hmm.
Ian
Okay.
Jerams, who actually works on he works on typewriters in a root cellar in the UK.
oh, wow.
And, yeah, so
They'll be-
he's
Neat.
fabulous.
There'll be
Anyway,
bluebirds
yes,
over the white
dazer lamp.
Nova.
And also, you should switch out your bulbs because, like, the ones that you can buy, I have like a warmer light that it's just so much cleaner. So pay attention to your lighting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. It's so amazing all the shared interests people have in this group. Oh, and of course now I want one of those articulated lights.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah. Wait, were those like a 50s thing? It looks very 50s to me.
They're,
Probably, I guess.
They're 50s or 60s.
Okay.
Yeah, they're 50s industrial architect lamps. So what's so great about them is for example, that smaller one is the numerous articulating points, but they're on a ball joint. So yeah, they're actually worth several $100s. Like it's incredible to find
Wow.
them. And so yeah, make sure that if you have a chance to get them. Yeah, look at that. It's so satisfying, isn't it?
It really is. My goodness.
Yeah, Brian's showing you. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're great.
So it's
Oh, that's awesome.
bolted
Yeah,
to the
so-
top shelf.
Keep your
Okay.
eyes peeled for it. If you ever find them, they're worth a lot and they're very
Wow.
useful. Mhm,
Wow. Very cool.
mhm.
Like I need another thing to start collecting.
Sorry.
I'm actually gonna make a video about I'm on a kick right now. I'm not prepared to share it yet because I'm gonna make an actual pre-recorded video about it, but I'm kind of diving deep into it, and it's something desk related or desk accessory related. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
All right.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing that, Brian, and also Katie for demonstrating yours as well.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, those are very, very cool, and they fit right in with our hobby. So
Yep.
because we have to see what we're typing, right?
That's right.
Very cool. All right. Let's see. I believe the order has changed a little bit on the screen, but we'll go with Susan. How are you, Susan?
I'm good. I'm
Excellent.
good. I don't really have anything new to report. For the first time, I went on the Type and Talk yesterday. That was fun.
Nice,
I've
nice.
never done that before, and that was fun. It was, different.
Yeah. Kind of a free for all. I've only, gone in like once or twice just to quickly say hi. I think one night my wife and I were out on a date, and, and I went in just to see what everybody was doing in there, and
Well, for me, because I live in Texas and I'm on Central Time, it gets late quickly,
Mm,
and
yeah.
Yep.
so
Here.
I didn't stay on as long as maybe I would have wanted to, but it was already getting quite late for me. But I had a great time while I was there.
Excellent.
That was fun. But
Yeah.
I don't really have anything new going on.
Okay.
I'm still crazy about the ambassador, and
Who wouldn't be?
it is, a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and but nothing else new in the typewriter realm. I've gotten a lot of letters this past week, so I have a lot of answering of letters and postcards to do. I got a real cute postcard from May.
Nice.
Hi, May.
Hi.
She typed on the front and the back,
Ah, yes.
which was really cool.
Like a mini letter.
I really, really enjoyed it. Got a letter from Neil. Hi, Neil.
Hello.
So it was a lot of, always fun. Oh, and I got monk mail too.
Yeah.
That's always nice.
Oh, yes. He's always surprising me. I'm sure he surprises everybody, but
Oh, yeah. He's full of surprises.
I must say though, Ted, last night we got into a conversation regarding paper injectors.
Okay.
And the question was, what was the first typewriter to arrive on the scene with a paper injector?
Well, the oldest ones I've seen are SG1s.
Well, I believe it's the Hermes Ambassador from 1948, which had a
Oh,
paper
yeah.
injector, which is before the advent of the SG1.
Yep, that would be.
Oh.
I've never seen one of those, but that would be earlier.
Sick burn.
So, but we're in a discussion because Bill was on, and he was saying that he thought he had seen a really old black typewriter that was probably European with that feature, but maybe it could have been a different type of knob that did something else. Like, they
Oh,
have
so
those little knobs for
You
clearing your
didn't
tabs.
prove that that was the case.
No, he could not.
Sick burn.
That's Brian's job today.
And we all said last night, oh, if only Ted was here, he'd be able to tell us the answer to this question.
Right.
No, because I've never seen one, so I
Yeah.
don't know that much about older Hermes. I really wish you wouldn't sneeze on me.
Does the typewriter database have a field for paper injector? Yes or no?
What was that?
Doesn't the typewriter database have a field for paper injector? Yes or no?
Nope.
Oh, well.
That's funny.
I gotta turn you guys up.
Excellent.
Volume was down to like 11.
What? You ruined my joke. I was gonna say you should turn it up to 11.
Not following, not falling for it.
So the typical mistake that I make while typing is I forget how to do an apostrophe. and I end up typing an 8.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do that a lot.
Yeah.
And then I have some typewriters that, like, the apostrophe is not even near the 8, but I automatically assume it's by the 8, and then I type it.
Oh boy.
That's probably my most common typing mistake too, is IAM for I'm.
Yeah, yeah, I do
do
that.
that a lot.
Yeah, but I just go with it and say, okay, well, that just makes my letter more charming, and I don't bother to use whiteout or anything like that.
'Cause, yeah, typewriter people know what you meant.
Now, do you go back and type the apostrophe over the 8?
Yes,
Okay, I
Yeah.
do too.
I do too.
yes, yes, I do.
Yeah. How'd that 8
That's
get
probably
there?
my most common mistake. And
Yeah.
if I don't get out on my Selectric, if I don't get out my little cheat sheets, because I've made type samples of all of my typefaces, if I don't get out my little cheat sheet, oftentimes I make mistakes because things like your exclamation mark could be in one of a number of different places. So,
Mhm.
that really does help me to get my head in the game as far as where everything is for that particular type element.
Mhm.
So that was one of the best things best advice given was to make a cheat sheet and use it for your type elements.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I've been using my Underwood star, and the exclamation point is to the right of the P, above the equal sign.
Yeah, see, that's in the wrong place, isn't
It's a
it?
weird place. And I also mix up
Wow.
with which side is my backspace key. I'll hit like the margin release or something instead of that, because it's on the wrong side. This one has the backspace key on the left. No,
Oh.
on the right. Where is it? It's on the left. It's like where the number 1 should be.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I find myself when I go back and forth between electric and manual, I have to reacquaint myself with the slightly different placement of some of the characters. And there's been a couple of times I go and try to hit return on a manual typewriter instead of the carriage lever.
Oh yeah.
That's not really a mistake, but it's just kind of a funny thing that I do.
Yeah, yeah. Excellent. Very
Yeah,
good.
so that's about it for me, I guess.
Okay. Well, so good to see you, Susan.
I'm so glad to see so many people
I
today.
know we have a lot
Yeah.
today.
People that we haven't seen in a while too. That's really
Mhm.
fun.
Exactly. Yes, yes. Very good.
I shared on my Instagram and I posted this. This is a time zone locator. So it tells
Ooh.
you like what time zone you're in basically, and then you can just turn it on a turn of a
Oh.
dial. So I put that on my Instagram. So I hope I
Oh.
rallied the troops.
Good job.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I put a couple of questions in the chat for you to check out too. I find the backspace key is so frustrating sometimes. You're like, I need to go back. And I don't know. Sometimes it's nice just to type without abandon and not worry about a mistake. That can be fun too, is a mistake isn't necessarily a mistake.
That's true.
Compassionate self-typing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the location of the backspace key depends on typewriter. On some it's upper left, some is upper right.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I probably don't have to do it as much because I chicken peck anyway. But I would imagine that people that touch type would have to, kind of scan the keyboard and just like make a mental note. Okay, this is the layout
Mhm.
before typing. Either that or I guess make mistakes. But yeah.
I've got a couple of Quart Z German machines, and you make the same mistakes all the time with that. Switching
Oh,
the
yeah.
Z and the Y.
Yeah,
Except
definitely.
lazy, it comes out really funny.
Yeah. I think I was writing a blog post or something, and I was doing really good the first half of it, And then I just started like messing up big time. Like every single time after that, it was a Z, and it was like yeah. So that's definitely a common one.
And he asked me to explain in the chat about cheat sheet. And so basically what it is that when I get a new type element, I do a type sample and write a couple of sentences. I identify the type element and do a type sample. And that way I can just keep them all together. I have them like paper clipped together. And then when I go to use that one, I pull it out and I can see, because I know how I did it, because I just do it beginning with the first row of keys, first row of keys on the keyboard, and then the second row, and then et cetera, and then do the capitals. I can see where things are located on the keyboard as far as that particular type element. It's really helpful because they're not the same. And now I have 26 or 7 type elements. So it's very easy to get confused.
Yeah.
You're really in your element, Susan.
I know. I'm still looking for a couple more. I don't have the elusive Oriental, and I'm looking for a business script, because since I have the IBM Selectric 1, and mine is a 10-pitch Selectric, my 12-pitch script is spaced wider, and the letters don't connect like I would like them to.
Yeah, doesn't look as good.
So that's a tough one to find, and I would love to find it, but I'm looking.
Well, if you find an Oriental, I'll trade you my business script for it.
I don't know. I might have to write some Chinese menus,
Yeah. Just keep looking on eBay. That's how I found mine.
Well, I have, of course, I've set up notifications and everything for that, but
you have to, a lot of times you have to look at the big lots, because a lot of people sell them without realizing what they have. And
yeah, I do look at the big lots, but I haven't seen a business script yet. I'm still hopeful. I'm always hopeful, but there's no rush. Like I said, I've got 29 to choose from. It's not like
I know.
I'm pretty sure you're not going to find Selectric elements at big lots.
no, not in big lots. No.
Can you imagine if you did? Oh my goodness.
I did buy a second IBM Selectric 1 this past week. Does not work, and but it had a fabric ribbon cartridge, so I could put different colored ribbon in it, and it had a IBM original dust cover, and it had one of the old original type balls with the little squeezy
for style with the
top
rabbit ears.
Yes. So even though it's a type element that I already have, I figure I can take it apart and use that little rabbit ears thing on my broken ones that are kind of hard to use, the clip that came with those. And then I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to give the Selectric to Darwin, my magician, and he can use it for a parts machine.
Nice.
So it doesn't even turn on, but it was very cheap, like $10.
Okay, yeah. not a big loss.
No.
Worth it for the element alone.
Yeah.
That's and the dust cover. My thing is I make dust covers for them now if I need to, but I love the original one if you can find it. So yeah.
Definitely. Very cool. Well, since it's so late where he is, I'm gonna skip to Russ. How are you, Russ?
Well, good morning from the east coast of Australia. I'm well, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
How are you?
Hello.
Good.
Great.
Yeah, we've just been going through a bit of a heat wave lately, but it's starting to cool down a bit.
That's always blown me away how different the weather is.
Opposite.
Yeah, I've
Very
been
much.
seeing videos over there of all the ice and stuff, and I go into my shed and the temperature's up to 35, 40 degrees Celsius. I don't know how much that is in Fahrenheit. It's over 100.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ouch.
So my little collection of typewriters keeps on growing, and I'm up to just under 50 at this
Oh,
stage.
okay.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm sort of coming towards semi-retirement and been looking for a side hustle, and so I've started a little typewriter repair business, and
Oh, nice.
been getting
Oh,
an
Great.
unusual sort of bit of interest. People wanting sort of all their old typewriters, renovated and stuff, especially if they've got sentimental value. So I've had a couple of those.
Mhm.
nice.
So that's good. But yeah, I thought I'd just pop in and say hello to everybody. I do watch Type Piles quite regularly. Yeah.
Oh,
Only when I'm on night shift, like it's 3:31 a.m. now. So I thought during my break I'd just pop in and say hello. And yeah, I learned so much from you guys. It's really great. You've taught me a lot, and yeah, I really enjoy watching them. So yeah, and thanks for the letters that I have got from some people and other people. I'm being a bit tardy with the writing. We at home have 3 miniature Dachshunds now, which are taking up a lot of time.
Wow.
oh, I bet.
Yeah, so anyway, I won't keep you too long, and I have to get back to work anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, always good to see you guys, and yeah, even though I'm not there, I do actually watch every week.
Oh, very good. Yeah, that's why I wanted to be sure and get to you as soon as possible, because I know you're at work and on your break. So it's so good to
Yeah,
see you, Russ.
thanks so much. All right, you guys enjoy yourself, and I'll watch you guys later on the week.
All
Okay.
right. Good to see you.
Okay, see
Thank
ya.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. William, how are you doing?
I'm doing quite well, all considering.
Well,
The weather
that's
isn't-
good. That sounds like progress.
Yeah, the weather isn't being horrible right now, so we've actually enjoyed a fairly balmy couple of weeks. I've been able to get some machinery moved around, get some more jobs in the shop, and I still haven't caught up from last year, but I've given up trying to catch up. I'll just get to it when I can.
Yeah.
And as far as letter writing goes, last year was a complete bust. I think I got 3 letters and 1 Christmas card sent off last year. This year I've already sent off 4 letters. So
Nice.
hopefully,
Better
as
than
I
0.
Yes.
hopefully as I wind down the business, I'll have a bit more time to actually write letters and get to do things I like to do. You know,
Yes.
it's interesting. I opened up this small engine repair business because it's what I like to do. But when you've done what you like to do for your job for 23 years, eventually it becomes boring.
Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely see that.
And so much machinery these days is just throw away. I just looked at a snow thrower for a customer. It got water into the cylinder, so the cylinder was rusted. There are no internal engine parts available to repair that engine. You just buy a whole new engine
Yeah.
for more than the blower's worth. So you just throw the blower away, buy a new blower.
Yeah.
Hey,
Um,
William, so you can do what me and my friend Donna are doing. We're making Christmas cards now for next year. We're starting on them. So we're not having a mad rush.
Well,
Great idea.
Well, there again,
Yeah.
it's all down to time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And last year I spent a month and a half being my wife's primary caregiver after she broke her ankle. That's a month and a half. That put me behind a month and a half in the shop.
Yeah.
playing catch up ever since. And then winter arrived a month earlier than expected, threw us straight into winter survival and damage control mode instead of winter preparation mode. And we're just slowly getting out of that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so eventually we'll get the business wrapped up, and then I've got a 2 or 3 year project ahead of me cleaning up this acreage. And amongst that, I'd like to get my typewriters repaired and get some listed on my Etsy store, and
Yeah.
get some more letters written and cards written. And now, Sue was asking on the member forum about whether postcards need to be replied to. Now, from what I understand, the origin of postcards came with the origin of the weekend and holidays. The Great Western Railway started advertising weekend trips, holiday trips down to Cornwall, this is in England, in Victoria times, and called it the Cornish Riviera. And so most people could not afford cameras, but most people could afford a tuppence for a postage stamp and tuppence for a postcard. So you find a nice postcard with a picture of where you were, write the card, drop it in the post box. It would get to your friends and family before you got home, so you didn't have to try and explain all the pictures and explain the scenery, and hopefully make them a little bit jealous of where you are.
Yeah.
And the postcard exchange on TypePals is just another way to have a bit of fun.
Exactly. There's, other than the fact that you're supposed to send your postcard out, there's no other real rules to it. So
Yeah.
if you want to reply to someone, you can. If you don't have to.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you want to reply, well, all you have to do is to type their name into the search bar on the
Exactly.
membership, and it comes with all the people the same name. And
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well,
so, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it sounds like things are getting better for you, so I'm glad for that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Nothing new in the typewriter world.
Okay.
And that's
Excellent.
about it for me for now.
Okay. Are there? Do you have any common typing mistakes?
What I quite often do is transpose letters in a word,
Ah, yeah, yeah.
and I sometimes put an S instead of the A, or an A instead of the S. Other mistakes to make, depending. Here again, it depends on the machine. Sometimes I go to hit backspace and the carriage jings across the next tab face.
Oh, yeah. That could be a problem.
And I learned fairly early to set a tab every 10 spaces. So if you do that, the carriage isn't going to accelerate too fast.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good idea.
And of course, occasionally on some machines where the shift lock is right beside the A, when I type an A, the A goes, it gets typed half a line down from the rest of the word.
Yeah, yeah.
The way I look at all these minor errors, or as I call them, the perfect imperfections. Most of us are not fully trained professional secretaries or administrative assistants. Copy perfection is not expected from us. Most of us are hobbyists, people who like journaling, people who do scrapbooking, and we use typewriters for the fun of it. If we can afford a little bit of forgiveness for ourselves and others, then typing just gets that much more fun. And I see minor mistakes like that as part of the personality and the authenticity of the letters I receive.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. All right. Well, it's so good to see you, William.
Mm-hmm. Good to be seen. Good to see you too.
Nice. Roger, how are you doing? Are you there, Roger?
Breaker 19, come in, Roger.
Okay, I just turned off my microphone again.
Oh, okay, okay. How are you?
I'm okay. Not much going on typewriter wise. Went to a fountain pen meeting yesterday, but
Ooh,
not typewriters.
okay. Was
So-
the fountain pen meeting one of those Pelican hubs?
No, this
No?
was just
Okay.
well, local Belgium and Netherlands together,
Okay.
talking, showing. So like a type in, but with fountain pens.
Exactly.
Haven't found a type in here yet.
Well, you need to make one.
So- Yeah, but then there's only going to be two guys.
I
I don't
know.
know anybody here. Oh well, maybe Indro. He could join
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
He's from around here.
Yeah. Yeah,
The thing
definitely.
is, you advertise a type in, and all sorts of people that you don't even know will show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the truth. I'm having another type in April.
I'd love to come, but who's gonna get transportation for me?
Yeah. Might be a little pricey.
Yeah.
Excellent. And I assume you still haven't gotten the typewriter. Was it from your friend or coworker?
Former coworker. I think
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna call him this week, but my car's at the shop now, so
Oh,
probably Wednesday I get it back. Maybe I'll call him.
okay. Excellent.
Well, I could get a typewriter on my bicycle.
That's true.
Yeah. Hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. I think it was it Robert?
Robert.
Yeah, he takes his typewriter on his bicycle.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Robert
yeah.
Raymond.
Oh, excellent. Well, I'm so glad you could be here, Roger.
Me too. Yeah,
Excellent.
it's always
Very
fun to hear everybody talking.
I know, right?
Yeah. We missed you last week, but
I know, but you know what? We actually had a really, really nice picnic. It was a little chilly, but it was sunny. So in the sun it wasn't too bad, but in the shade it was a little chilly.
What's
Yeah.
chili?
50s.
Oh, come on.
This is Southern California.
well, it was
Ah,
long
that's funny.
sleeve weather.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so it was very nice, but I
Yeah.
did miss you guys though. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't get one of those earbuds in your ear to follow while at the
Oh.
picnic.
No, because it's supposed to be time with the wife, so
Well, you're there physically.
yeah. Oh, bad. Oh, but again, I'm glad you could be here, Roger.
Yeah, same here. Nice talk. See all you guys. Talk to you.
Yes, yes.
Listen.
Yeah. All right. Where did Ted go? Ted is hiding. Oh, there he is. He had his back turned. His shirt was acting as camouflage. Like,
Oh, that's what it's for.
there you go.
It's
I saw
festive
you using
camouflage.
Oh yes, I saw you using your rub-on letters.
Yeah.
Letter
Nice,
set.
nice.
Building another
Yes.
art cipher for the OTP.
Very good.
I'm pretty sure I've got it to the point where nobody decodes them now. Just there
But
for
you know
the
what?
visual impact.
But they're visually appealing, I think.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. Definitely. Anything new with you, sir?
Well, I had a whole bunch of scanning to do
Oh,
that I got done mostly. And
yeah.
so now we've got a Corona 4 manual, service manual,
Wow.
Corona Zephyr service manual.
Yay.
Wow.
And so, and a bunch of other stuff. There was tons of stuff that came from Kirk Jackson up at Nashville Typewriter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He cleared out his shelves and sent them to me to digitize. And yeah, so we got some nice holes filled in there. And
Yeah. Yeah.
probably be another Bible come out of it, or two maybe.
Very good.
I've been waiting for a Corona 4 manual, service manual for a long time.
Yeah, it's you know how the Corona 1 floating shift 1 through 4 series book is written,
Yeah.
where it's this wall after wall after wall of text, and then illustrations in the very back. It's
Oh,
exactly
no.
the same.
Oh, no.
Awesome. Well, I'm used to reading those already, so this won't be much different.
Yeah, basically, I figured out that all pre-World War II service documentation looks pretty much like that. They didn't start doing the illustrated pop-outs and, you know, clear language type descriptions for repairs until after the war, after Rocky Jones started the OAMI school, and
Wow.
when they had to basically train GIs. When you have farm boys off the, you know, fresh off the battle lines, you're not going to give them a wall of text. You're going to give them nicely illustrated little instruction books on how to do things. So that's pretty much what changed between the wars.
Okay.
Well, either way, when you get the Corona 4 manuals done, I'd like, I'm going to buy a copy, obviously, but I need you to sign it like, you know, to Sean with love, Reverend Ed. or
From
something
Russia
like
with
that,
love.
Because it's really, really important, that manual.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see if we can make that happen.
Excellent. Excellent. And Ted, what are some of your common typing mistakes?
I before E, always. The
Ah.
IE thing always screws me up. So,
Yeah.
I even to this day, I've spent years and years correcting myself, you know, and when I type it, I just type it wrong all the time. It just it never works.
Yeah.
Also, the apostrophe, the shifted 8 for apostrophe.
Yeah.
Type 8s. So
A lot.
I ate M.
Yeah.
I'm sure M was pretty happy about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. Let's see. Yesterday, I hung out with Brian for a little bit. We went to
Yeah.
Deseret and
Awesome.
picked up a few things. Passed him a Aztec 700, so hopefully he's enjoying that.
Nice. Big thumbs up.
Another Wilson Jones Hummer. So now I have 2 of those to play with, and I don't know. We went to lunch. Had some spicy New Mexican food, which I think was a little too hot for Brian.
A little bit.
Oh.
So I'll have to remember that next time. No more super spicy stuff. But I don't know. Other than that, that's basically all I've been doing is, you know, writing in my everyday carry notebook and posting blog posts twice a day.
Yeah, you've been very, very busy with that.
You know, been keeping busy.
Yeah.
Writing letters.
Excellent.
I got enough. I actually got a new correspondent last night
Ooh.
who is normally here, but he isn't here now. But Mr. Daniel from Canada
Oh, okay.
he,
Excellent.
sent me a letter, and I sent him a reply.
Nice.
He's
Very
taken
cool.
on the arduous journey of corresponding through the series.
So you're up to volume 10 or
I'm at
episode 10,
9.
or-
I'm
9, okay.
experimenting with volume 10.
Okay.
I sent the first test copies to Joe so that he can test it in his little DVD player thing, see if they actually work. Because
Oh.
I'm trying to do video, trying to do SVCD on those little tiny 3-inch CD things that I send out, but it didn't work for me.
Oh,
It supposedly worked. It said it burned it right, but I couldn't play it back on anything I have, so I sent it to him to see if he could play it back.
Yeah, you
okay.
got like an old DVD player or a karaoke player.
Yeah, see, I'm not real sure that it's going to work.
Yeah.
We'll
Darn.
see. If it doesn't, then I'll just come up with something else.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
far, 9 episodes, and I have 2 people that have gotten all 9.
Oh, wow.
One of them's right there, Mr. Neil.
Ah.
Did you get
Excellent.
number 9 yet, or is it still in the
Yes.
mail? Okay, so he's got it.
I listened to it last night.
What'd you think?
You know what? I always say this isn't my kind of music, but it's kind of cool to be exposed to different things. I ended up really enjoying the second half. It was pretty cool.
All right,
Very cool.
very nice.
Excellent.
Glad I could surprise you.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it doesn't take much to surprise me, but
I like your shirt too.
that was
Typewriter Church,
yeah, I had that.
2023.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Anybody can be a t-shirt designer in 2023.
Mhm.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Let's
Excellent.
see. Can I think of anything else? Oh, well,
I did, by
Yeah.
the way, Ted, like your the photo of the transparency kind of thing that you included this time. That was kind of neat.
oh yeah, I was experimenting with inkjet transparencies to do pictures, to print photographs, and so you have to hold it against a sheet of white paper to see what's actually on it.
Yeah.
Was that
Did a couple experiments.
an older photo?
The one I sent you
The
is
reason I'm asking is because it had a mint green princess phone in it. And I
oh
thought,
yeah, that was the one I did on my Hermes 3000, and I sent that phone to Susan.
yes, that's see, I
Oh.
knew that. That's why I was questioning the.
Yeah, when I took that picture, I printed out a bunch of copies so that I could include them in my letters.
Nice. Very cool.
And here's my output for 2 months. on
Oh, wow.
The EDCN. This is my archived.
That is awesome.
So
Yeah. So
I'm feeling
creative.
pretty good about that. I'm getting stuff
Yeah. That's excellent.
writing done.
Yeah. Now, you use well in this you're using pens a lot.
Yep.
Are there still a specific pen you're using, or have you tried different pens?
Mostly I'm using this oh man, it's a Parker Jotter
Jotter? Yeah.
light liner. It's the stainless steel one.
Ah.
And I'm using some Joe, I think it's the name of the company is Joe's Pens, but it's a 0.5 millimeter needle tip. What's it called? I'll have to look at another pen to find out. It's a gel.
Oh, okay.
So I like the being able to write very small.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, and doing fine lines. And so I've been using that. I've been really liking that refill cartridge.
Nice.
And I like the pen a lot, but I have, and then for like drawing, I use a variety of these Sakura microns.
Oh, yes.
So,
Mhm.
you know, mechanical pencil.
Oh, okay.
And drawing stuff yesterday too.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to see Ted in action, Brian?
Well, in real life, like he was
Yep,
a
yep.
person.
Oh, but I mean, he was drawing there with you?
I don't think he was drawing with me.
No.
Oh,
He
okay.
found
I
drawing stuff at the
misunderstood.
thrift store.
Oh, I see. I see.
Oh yeah, I found a charcoal set when we went to the thrift store. We picked up a brand new in the box charcoal drawing set for $3. So I gave that to the
Wow.
wife. So she's more of a charcoal drawer. I like pens.
Gotcha.
Ah. Excellent.
I
Excellent.
think that's it.
All right.
Thrilled me of all
Excellent.
my information.
Well, it's so good to see you, Ted.
It's good to see you guys too.
Excellent. All right. Sean, how are you doing? All right, thumbs up.
I'm good, thank you. Happy Sunday, everybody. I'm
Happy
glad
Sunday.
wore your thing. So my email obviously is like a week behind because I loaded my email yesterday and it came up with a type and talk note from you saying, yeah, I won't be on today. No host. Please feel free to join. So last night on the type and talk, I'm like, hey, yeah, Gregory won't be here for the second week. Apparently he's got something. And then this morning I'm going, So I looked at the email. Yeah, it was from last week. And for some reason it never downloaded, but it re-downloaded. Anyway, sorry for misleading people who, surprise, Gregory's here.
Yay!
We figured it out,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah, I figured it out. Yeah, because he was here. Anyway, I came on. I'm like, yes, Gregory's here. So we can't go more than 1 week without you being here. And then it that'd be upsetting. Anyway, just comments about everybody because I like having comments. Good to see everybody. Brenda, good seeing you.
Hi.
Ian, I like the fact you wear a toque. I guess the heat's still off in your building. Marina, good seeing you as well. Marvin's in daylight. I've never seen him like that with lights on before. It's always like dark and night vision-y.
I know, huh?
And Was, good seeing you. I always see her on Instagram, but never see her in life. So it's nice to see real people. And Roger, as always, good. Alan, hi.
Dito.
Anyway, yes, I want to say hi to everybody because I always have comments I want to make. And of
Didn't
course,
say hi to me.
everybody we saw last night, May, William, Susan.
Oh, we saw you last night,
Yeah.
less than 12 hours ago.
It's not that I didn't acknowledge you. I just saw you within like 9 hours ago.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, things are good. I got a new typewriter on the way. So that's why you shouldn't say, oh, I haven't been buying typewriters lately, because then something happens.
Jinx
and you just
yourself.
you jinx yourself a bit. Anyway, I'll reveal that when it comes, but I did get awesome book.
Oh yeah, I saw that
Oh,
on
cool.
Instagram. That's awesome. Yeah.
So this is by that lady that I had posted the video,
yes.
the Navy video,
Mhm.
that you can watch on YouTube, but this is everything that she says, but in book form.
Wow.
Which is awesome. So 15-minute little things to write and get yourself up to speed, but it doesn't include just typing. It's how to flip the cards out of your typewriter and how to use the carbons and how to line everything up. And man, there's some good little tricks in here. So super cool manual. Yeah, I'm expanding on my my Rolodex. So I got all the colored cards. For those of you who have seen it on Instagram, sorry. No, sorry, too much light here. But anyway, the card colors. I got the blues and greens, some yellows and reds.
Nice.
So the white cards will be typewriters. Blue cards, typefaces. So I'll separate those. It's like my own little typewriter database, but in an analog sort of way.
Yeah.
I thought you were making a board game for a minute.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That would be really cool.
What
Typopoly.
A typopoly, yeah. Welcome to Smith Corona Avenue. Oh yeah, baby. Green are keyboard cards, and then I can't figure out what red and yellows are going to be for. So I don't know. I don't have a lot of
Red cards are for penalties on the play.
Well, it's funny because after I wrote that and posted it yesterday, the red card and yellow card, I'm thinking, well, maybe these are bad typewriters and sort of bad typewriters. I don't know. But in case anybody's buying a Rolodex, there's 3 sizes of Rolodex cards, and I spent a lot of time looking at Rolodexes trying to see what size the cards were. And so in case anybody's wanting to buy one, so the cards I've got here are 4 by 2 1/4. There's 3 by 5, which is a preferred one, right? Because you got more space to type on. There's more value there if you wanted to put different things on there. And then there's one smaller card, which is like 3 inches by 1 3/4. Well, I just figured out a trick. So if anybody buys a Rolodex, this is a
2254D.
right. So 2254 is 2.25 by 4.
Ah,
That's the card size. So if you find any 2 series or 2s with 4s, like the 2400s, 2 by 4, that's your middle size card. And if you find any Rolodexes with a 3000 series, 3 by 4, that's your middle size card. And if you find any 2 series or 2s with 4s, like the 2400s, 2 by 4, that's your middle size card. And if you find any Rolodexes with a 3000 series, usually a 3500 or along those lines. Those are the big 3x5 cards. So those would be the preferred ones if you really want to put a lot of stuff on a lot of real estate. And then of course, if you buy a 1753, 1.75 by 3, that's the smallest card. So not as much real estate. So just in case, it's hard to tell scale online sometimes.
Exactly.
So everybody go out and get your Rolodexes. We'll regroup here next week.
I do have one, but it's for my fountain pens.
Well, that's okay too. So you can buy two, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
One fountain pens and one.
Sean.
Yeah.
What I ended up doing is I found one of those pull-out index card drawers at an antique store, so I bought that one. So what I do now is I use a typewriter with a carbon ribbon to put the actual typewriter information on the front, and then type sample on reverse. Then I use the ribbon that's in the typewriter and just a quick note of where the machine was made.
Yep. No, that's another good way of doing it.
Yeah. That way your type sample stays with the information on the machine.
Right. And that's awesome, but I want to be able to find type styles, typefaces separately from typewriters rather than going through the typewriters to find the typefaces.
Okay, good idea.
Different color, like I can then categorize it by a typeface, a Congress or an Imperial or a Pika Pika Elite, and all the weird crazy names, and then put AKAs, right? Because a lot of the same typefaces were used by different companies. Slugs came from the same manufacturer, but everybody then put their own brand on it. So when we talk about, God, whatever it would be, Bodoni by Olivetti is also Victoria under Olivetti in different years. So you can categorize all those, and then at least I can categorize them on my Rolodex according to, well, I'm looking for all my elites. Well, I'll look for the blue cards in the E section, and then I'll find all those, elites or whatever the case is. I don't know exactly how it's going to work yet.
Okay.
There's such an awesome variety of ways to catalog and categorize things. I mean, you could use a computer, but why?
So if
Only
you
for
want-
Zoom and
so-
Typehouse.
Yeah.
Typewriter database. That's it.
So if you're wanting to write a letter by typeface, you look for the typeface you want, then find which typewriter has that typeface.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So that way you can, because the Congresses and the Imperials and all the other Canterburys and everything, then you could sort of go, oh yeah, that's right, I have that. It's okay if you maybe have 5 typewriters, then you probably keep them straight in your head, but maybe not. So anyway, other than that, oh, there was something else, but I always seem to forget these things. Oh, my mistakes. I do like William does. I often get excited and want to hit an A or a Z, hit the shift, and then my letters are all wonked off the line. But I also have a tendency to, geez, what else? Miss the space bar or half stroke the space bar when I'm really going, and then I run a bunch of words together, but no big deal.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of other mistakes, but I won't even go into those.
You won't confess to those, right?
Well, we all make them. I'm accepting my humanity more and more every year. I wrote a flash fiction story for a podcast that I was on last week, and it'll be out in a week or two. And anyway, I'm trying to break through the barrier of fear. I haven't written stories like I'd like to for a number of years. I write my stream of consciousness stuff that only I have and that I see and I don't really share much with. Anyway, I read this out on this podcast, my 3.5-page flash fiction story. So I had the guts to do that. And then the guy who was hosting said afterwards, he says, hey, would you mind sending, a copy of your story that you wrote, and I'll post it on the website. And of course, it's an absolute mess with all these mistakes I was just talking about, and strikeouts with pencil and little adjustments. And I thought, you know what? Who cares what people think? So I sent it to him to post, and it'll be okay. Everything will be fine. If nobody ever listens to the podcast, that'll make it much easier.
Just let us know when the podcast is. We'll listen to it.
Yeah.
Talking about podcasts, Gregory, did we miss some, or did it drop down the podcast?
Yeah. I've been going through some things, so some projects have fallen into the background, but they will be coming back. So yeah.
Cool. You've got time. I'm now listening to podcasts from November 2015. So
Oh
you got a
wow.
couple of years before I'm current.
Oh, okay, okay. I don't feel so bad then.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard when you're not retired, Gregory. Everybody sort of starts looking at Joe and Ted and all that and thinking you should produce the same level that they do, but you got a
Yeah.
job and a family.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, no, so that's it for me, other than, oh, I'll show you my mug. I don't know who will recognize that, but
Ah. Oh, what's his name? That bear.
that bear. What do
Winnie
you
the
mean, that bear?
Pooh. Winnie the
Winnie
Pooh.
the
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie Pooh.
Oh my God, you guys, that bear. Anyway, I grew up with Winnie the Pooh, and there's a lady out in.
Paddington is that bear. Winnie the Pooh. is-
Yes, Winnie the Pooh is our bear.
Oh,
Yeah.
From
Anyway,
Manitoba.
sorry.
Tigger.
From Manitoba.
Yeah, Tigger
Now,
and
that-
Pooh.
that's
Pooh,
Winnie
Oh,
was
it's
more
Tigger.
like a
there he
Ewok.
is. I'm
and
sorry.
Tigger's Pooh in Tigger's outfit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, see?
I thought it
You
was
see
an
his red
Ewok.
shirt.
And you walk.
We have
Yeah.
And
So,
there's
there's
Tigger.
yeah.
So who outside Canada knows why Winnie was called Winnie the Pooh?
I have no idea.
William will tell you the story then. It tells
His
you
name-
back to
name-
World War One.
The city where he was rescued from the zoo of Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Oh,
And he was
interesting.
he was the mascot of a Canadian regiment before they went over to France.
Yeah.
In World War One.
Wow.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
he
their
was a black
mascot.
bear.
Winnie the Pooh.
He was what?
That was their mascot. They called him Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Wow.
It was a real
Wait.
bear, Rich.
He was. Yeah.
It
He
was
was.
a real bear.
He was a real
Oh.
bear, or was it a she? Name was Winnie, and the bear was a mascot of the Canadian regiment or the Manitoba regiment, and then was put in a zoo, and then A. Milnes took young Christopher Robin to the zoo, and they were showing young Christopher Robin around the zoo, and Chris said, "What's that bear's name?" Well, the sign says Winnie. Winnie the Pooh. A.M. said, "Why Winnie the Pooh?" "I don't know, just Winnie the Pooh. He blows flies off his nose. Pooh."
So Winnie was the mascot, not Winnie the Pooh.
Yes, Winnie was a black bear.
Yeah, that
The real
changes
bear.
things a little bit.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
story was embellished and it was written afterwards, and based on A. Milnes. It, with Christopher Robin, they became sort of the characters of the story that he wrote after that interaction.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then someone else did the pictures. I forget who did the pictures in the original books.
Oh, I don't know.
I
Yeah.
had to have a honey pot coffee mug because, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
That's
You was a
Now
black
that-
bear, but history has honey washed his story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Honey washing, it's a new bad thing.
Right. Yeah.
Speaking of Canada, I got a new coffee mug.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan.
You really got to turn it to get Saskatchewan all the way into the picture.
All right.
I know.
Yeah,
huh?
dude. The feature of the last
Yeah,
couple
but
of
like,
Zoom sessions.
I'm just
like
I'm just going with
Canadian
my
corner.
own.
Pretty.
That's cool.
Very cool.
Well,
So-
it's 2 years.
So who knows the other name for Saskatoon? Yeah.
You do.
Yes,
The only one.
you're right.
So far. Soon we will all know.
Yeah.
As,
That's
Saskatoon is quite often referred to as the parish of the prairies because it has so many bridges over the North Saskatchewan River.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
that.
Interesting.
Yep, you were the only one that knew that.
Well,
And
That
we
was
all
right.
do.
Most
Yeah,
Americans don't even know there's a country north of them, but typewriter people are way more educated and knowledgeable about Canada.
Yeah,
So now you have a little bit more info.
I know I am.
Now, Sean, I have to ask you: do you put honey in your coffee?
Oh, no, I'm more of a honey and tea guy.
Oh, yes.
I do
Yeah.
tea, the honey is really appropriate for tea. It's not a coffee thing.
Yeah.
When I've done it, there's usually way more honey than there is coffee. So it just like
Or hot
Well,
milk.
yeah,
a
yeah.
little bit of cream. Yeah.
Well, you know, honey in coffee is becoming a thing, so
Really?
you might want to
Right.
try it. It's surprisingly good.
Butter is too. Butter and honey
Oh, yeah, I've
together in
heard that.
coffee.
Yeah.
I just can't get on that
Ugh.
butter and
I
coffee.
tried it
See,
once.
that's like chocolate on pretzels. You don't mix salt and sweet together. That's like,
Oh, yes, you
oh,
do.
no,
Yes,
you
that's
don't.
good.
Oh, no, you
Yeah.
don't.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Sea salt chocolate is my favorite.
It's like pineapple on pizza.
That's
Mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's interesting because at Disneyland they have the Winnie the Pooh ride. When you come off the ride, it dumps you right into their little gift shop, of course, which is
Mhm.
mostly candy, and in there they have chocolate covered pretzels.
Mm.
It's a thing.
They're good.
Now I'm getting the munchies.
I know, huh? But seriously, you should try honey in your coffee. It's pretty amazing.
All right, I'll go
Definitely.
upstairs and get another pot.
Excellent. Well, anything else new with you, Sean?
No, just a quick story. Oh, you weren't here last week. Anyway, sorry for the people that were on last night. Well, I've heard this story again. I'm on page 3 of a short story that Eric Tidd has caused me to start writing because he'd seen a picture of mine online with umlauts on my typewriter. And he said, oh man, I'm really looking for a typewriter with umlauts because my daughter Zoe has an umlaut over her. I
Oh,
was like, oh, anyway, the way he said it, I wrote it down. And so I started writing a story last night called Zoe and the Umlauts.
oh,
As I was starting to write the first paragraph, Chris from Kitchener, Ontario, said to Eric, hey, are you really happy that typewriter's on that way? So Chris is sending Eric a typewriter with umlauts on it for Eric. So Eric was really happy. And I had just typed the first paragraph of my Zoe and the Umlauts story. And I went, oh my God, well, that's weird. I just started typing this story. So I showed them, we all laughed about it. I'm on page 3 of this short story about this character named Zoe who, Alice in Wonderland's into a place with umlauts. So I'm just defining that character so they don't look creepy and weird, but they look sort of cute. What does an umlaut look like? If you bump
exactly.
first. Anyway, yeah. So funny story how the universe works sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just wondering whether you were going to incorporate in there like a twist with Tréma in the story.
Good question. I'm just sort of going with the flow right now. So she has just left escaped the house. She's going to go live in the forest, but somehow the forest has changed and now she's bumped into her first umlaut. And I don't know what his name is going to be, but it's going to have an umlaut in it. I don't know if
Of course.
I don't know. I'm going to have to make some twist based on language. A misunderstanding. I don't know. I'm not sure yet, but if you got any ideas, I'll incorporate it.
Yeah.
Wow.
You should say that umlaut has a twin sister called Tréma.
Tréma? Oh, that's a good
Tréma.
Well, that might be another tribe of accents that they fight.
You're right. That's a cool one.
Yeah, okay.
That's a cool
So
one.
Anyway.
when you're getting to Helena, you'll have more than one character.
Yeah, we got I forget the names of all the curvy ones, and we'll have accent aigus, and
Yeah.
there could be a whole series of stories.
There
There
there's
you
3
go.
kinds of umlauts.
What?
There's 3 kinds: the A, the O, and the U.
Yes, I would incorporate. They're all going to be characters. The grossa B can have an umlaut on it.
Oh
too.
yeah, I love those.
So that'll be the
It's
chief of the umlauts.
Wow.
Great.
That sounds really cool.
Just trying to have no fear, even if it's stupid. It's a way to expand a little creativity and just do something versus worrying. We spend too much time as adults adulting, worried about what people think, if it makes sense, if it's spelled correct, all these things that we use to hinder and hold ourselves back. And I've got to try to, personally, I've got to try to release that in order just to write naively and innocently, like I did when I was younger, without fear, without concern about, the grammar and the words. You can change all that later, and the typewriter gives you that opportunity just to go for it. Nike, just do it. And then afterwards you can do whatever you want with it, burn it and reframe it, rewrite it, whatever. So,
Dance as though no one's looking.
yeah. Just have pants on if you're going to do it in public, and otherwise you're good.
I'm totally gonna forget who said it, because I've been keeping like a daily journal, and I do a quote each day. So one of the quotes, and again, I don't remember who it was, but basically they said, every day do something every day do something you fear.
Yeah.
So basically, you're forcing yourself out of your comfort zone every day. So.
Yeah. And I think that's important, whether you're driving home a different route from work than what you'd normally do, all the way to just write something you would never normally write. Just go for it, even if it turns out badly. We build on failure. We build on learnings based on not doing well and learning from it. So I'm trying to expand that motivational. Just don't worry.
Exactly. But honestly, we've heard your writing on here, and we know it's good. So yeah,
we're hardest on ourselves, right? I mean, I read some of my stuff and I go, man, that's like 12 years old. Like, geez, did I even graduate school? And then sometimes I write stuff that I'll read and go, wow, like, who wrote that? That's great. But those are not as common for me in my mind. And we're just tough. You're always worried about how people are going to judge you. When I read this out as, who's going to snicker, and then you're going to feel like ashamed of it. So
yeah.
I just get AI to write all my stuff now. No, just
Sean, one of the coolest things that I ever heard you write was, I'm not even sure. I think it was either one of my first Type Pal meetings, or it could have been, I went back and looked at it. I'm not sure, but you read a story. It's just so cool. You read the story about this gift that you were anticipating for Christmas Day. And oh my God, that is like, I just never forget that. So I was going to ask you this last Christmas if you would dig it out and read it again. It was really that cool. That was a very neat story.
Thanks. Thank you. Or Neil, sorry. Thank you for that. I'm going to think that and read it again.
Yeah, I'm thinking that would be a type prompt as of what was the best gift I ever received.
Yes.
Yeah, it was, William.
Yeah. No, thanks, Neil. Sometimes, you internalize your own writings in your own head, and place value or no value on things. So getting that feedback, I can look at it maybe through new eyes and go find it. I keep all of my prompts from Type Pals just so that I had a record of them, because.
So we've got March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So get ready for this December. We'd like to hear that again.
Oh my God, don't put the pressure on me now. I can't handle it. Yes, I'll go find it, and I'll take a look at it.
Excellent.
Thanks for that. Yeah.
Good stuff.
I mean, perhaps if you're writing, even though it may be a fictional story, it might benefit you if you were to research the history of how the umlaut and sharp S came to be.
Yes. There's so much you can do. I've just got to be careful of Wikipedia, because my research can end up derailing writing.
Oh yeah. I know some writers, they just write, whether the facts are correct or not. It's just a matter of just throwing the words on the page, and then they'll go back and like put in the correct facts or numbers and all that. And I think that's good advice, actually, because otherwise you can really get bogged down in the research, and you can also use that as the excuse not to write. So yeah.
And you know what? In some cases, why you don't even need to go back and fix it. It doesn't really matter. It depends on your
That's true.
story and what it is. You know, I was reading just
Yeah.
one story the other day for this podcast, and it was 1888, and I wrote that he looked out and he saw the Eiffel Tower, and I thought, well, I might as well check to make sure when the Eiffel Tower was built. Well, it was only half built when my story was taking place. They were just in the middle of constructing it, and I thought, oh man, I'm gonna have to go back and then I finally, sort of had this epiphany of, well, who the F cares?
Yeah.
Does it really matter? It's like a year and away. So I just left it, and who cares? It's not really defined anyway. And yeah, and then I learned so many other things, that they thought the Eiffel Tower was an eyesore in Paris for about 15, 20 years. People thought it was ugly, and it destroyed the skyline of Paris and made it a horrible city. And we all look at it now 120 years later and go, man, this is what defines France. So
Yeah.
funny how things change anyway. So
Exactly.
anyway, that's enough for me. I don't like hogging stuff. So thanks.
Well, it's very good to see you, Sean.
Thank you. You guys too.
Excellent. Neil, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Not a whole lot of stuff to report in the way of typewriters. I keep plugging away at my old IBM. I get one thing solved, another little issue pops up, but I've come up with some pretty bizarre repairs that I've made to it. They're beyond unconventional, but they're working. It's working. So I've got a little issue now where it's when I hit return at the beginning of each sentence, the first letter will oftentimes skip. It'll go perfectly for 2 or 3 sentences, and then the next sentence it skips a space. And I can't figure out what's causing that. But as you guys were talking earlier about mistakes, that's not really a mistake, but it's a machine's issue. And so I just decided I love that machine, so I'm gonna keep on using it. So I've got the 72 Hermes here right next to me now. I'm typing on it at the moment, but what else is happening? I was thinking about an article that I saw. Actually, somebody posted it on Facebook locally here in Key West, and it was an article about a gentleman who was Hemingway's assistant, basically, all the time that he lived here in Key West. And he actually was friends with his wife, Pauline, and was requested by her to come down to Key West for the purpose of building a wall around the Hemingway's home, which is still there today, of course. So this gentleman moved to Key West, built the wall, and then he ended up becoming good friends with Hemingway, and basically was kind of like his personal assistant for many, many years. And he would chauffeur him here and there, and they would go fishing with him. And in the story mentions how he would even take Hemingway's glasses off when he fell asleep. I don't know if he really fell asleep or if he just was passed out, but whatever.
Yeah.
But this gentleman goes on to talk about some of the myths around Hemingway's home here, and the fact that, I don't know if you know, but one of the things the home is noted for is having 6-toed cats, right?
Yes.
And all their descendants that were supposedly Hemingway's. And Toby Bryce is the man's name. He said that that's a bunch of bunk. He said that Hemingway's never owned any of the 6-toed cats. He said that they had 3 cats while they lived here. And he said, I know because I buried all 3 of them after they died, he said. So, but anyway, the connection there is that this fellow actually lived about 10 feet over the other side of the house here. They lived right next door to where we live.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah. And his a friend of ours who is an author was asked by Toby's son, his name was Dink Bruce, to help categorize a lot of the Hemingway's materials that were still left at the house next door here. And so our friend Brewster passed away a couple of years ago. Before he died, he actually got through all of the material that was here on the property next door, categorized it all, and then we had a Hurricane Irma in 2017 before they could, and there was some concern that the materials got damaged, water damage during the storm, but it turns out they didn't. And they ended up being shipped to, I can't remember if it's University of Pennsylvania, I'd have to check, but they're in wherever his archives are held. All the material made it there safely, and is now in good hands, including, I guess there's a manuscript of a story that he never published that was in there. So anyway, that was, the article is kind of hard to read. It's a photocopy, but I was thinking of maybe retyping it and just sending out there for people to look at. So
Yeah.
that's interesting. Small town here.
Yeah.
But other than that, some of you will be receiving little gift packages in the mail over the next few months. We're in the process of kind of downsizing and decluttering my life. Not that I'm going to send you clutter, but might be some interesting things appear in your mail. I've already got a couple things sent out, so
Wow.
it's just a kind of variety of stuff that I've been telling people, right? One of these days when I kick the bucket, I said somebody's going to come here and see this stuff, and they're going to be like, "What is?" Either at work, they'll probably it'll go to Salvation Army where somebody else will buy it, or at worst yet, it'll end up in a dumpster somewhere because nobody knew what it was, right? Something. So they're just little things that are. A lot of the stuff I've hung on to for years and years. So it's time to move things down the road. So if you get a little package, God knows what could be in it. So we'll see. You've been warned.
Yeah. That's funny. Excellent.
That's about it. Nothing else going on here. Thank you again, Gregory, for doing this.
You're welcome.
Lots of fun.
And it's so good to see you, Neil.
Same here.
All right. I feel bad because a couple weeks ago we didn't get to speak to Marina, so I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to Marina.
Hi, Marina.
How are you?
Hi, thank you. How am I? That's a good question.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't been online a lot lately, so I was just explaining to William that both my parents passed away last year, one in July and one in November. So my father-in-law had passed away also earlier in the year. So last year was just a complete write-off for me. So I'm very behind on my mail, and I apologize. I have mail here from Daniel. I have mail from William. I have mail from Andrew Smith, who isn't, I don't think he's on. And I think I have two from him, so even worse, and Angela, and it's just been mounting up. So I got to catch up. So hopefully this year will be better. Yeah. And in terms of updates for typewriter stuff, well, I had to clear out my mum's house, and so that kind of had some interesting discoveries, which I'm okay sharing. I found two original, oh, I guess I've got the blur on, hang on. Two original Pitman, hang on, let me figure out how to do this. Pitman manuals, I guess I must have had in the day when I was learning to type. So those were kind of fun. One's from 1957 and the other one's from 1967.
Nice.
I was not that old. Clearly they were used at that time. So those have been kind of fun.
Yeah.
And just an interesting collection of postcards, actually, that my mom had purchased. I guess she's one of those people that buys postcards everywhere she goes.
Yep.
So yeah, so a lot from Vancouver, from when she came over when I got married in the 90s, and some from Spain and various places. So I will be using these for postcard
Nice.
exchanges. So those are kind of cool. And I think that's about it. I mean, I haven't bought a typewriter in goodness knows a long time. I probably haven't shared all the typewriters I've purchased. I have 12. Around 12. I did dispose of one.
Okay.
I gave a Webster, a nice blue robin's egg blue Webster to my daughter's friend for grad
Nice.
Cool.
last
Yeah,
year.
those good solid machines. Thank you.
Yeah, they're nice little machines. It wasn't something I thought I would use. And she does a lot of writing, like poetry and short stories and things, and I just felt compelled to give it to her. So you know, I was happy that it had a home, and she's my daughter's kind of childhood friend, so it went to a good home. I think the typewriter I was just thinking about getting it out. The typewriter I'm most excited about right now is I did pick up a Facet TP1 last year, which I haven't even touched. It has no cover, but other than that, I was very excited. It was a 15 Canadian dollar Value Village find.
Oh,
and
wow.
you can't leave them
No.
top cover or no top cover. You can't leave it there for that. Plus, I wanted just to touch it to see what it felt like, because I heard all these great things and
Yeah.
whether I might want to actually get a better one. So yeah, that's probably the thing I'm most excited to play with. But yeah, I spent a lot of time in England away from home last year, so yeah, kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I have a Facet TP2 and a 1620, which are the successors of the TP1.
Yeah, and I've heard you guys talk about the Facet, and it's not the kind of thing that I thought I would ever see in our small little town in the middle of rural, well, maybe not quite rural Canada, but getting there. So yeah, I just never thought I'd actually see one in the wild. So I grabbed it.
Yeah. Good
But I would
call.
dearly love a top cover.
Yeah.
But I hear it's a pretty common thing that people take it off to put the ribbon in, and then they don't bother putting it back on. And so they get lost. In fact, who is now I can't think of it. There's a famous writer / actor, and now I can't think of his name. I know you guys know who it is. Married to Mia Farrow. What was it? Woody Allen.
Ken got it.
Who types with a typewriter with no top cover because he lost his. I think he has an Olympia.
Yep.
And yeah, he long ago lost his top cover. So I thought, well, if it's good enough for him to have no top cover, then
There you go.
I'm joining the topless.
You can make one.
Typewriter crowd.
You can make. Why don't you? You can make one, out of like a stiff cardboard. I've done that on one of mine.
Yes, I saw a YouTube video about that. I was
not
kind of
hard.
like, oh, it's not, and it might be nice just to dampen the volume down a little bit.
Yeah,
because it's pretty loud when you don't have a top cover.
What happens with those facets is that there are leaf springs either side of the locating pins. When those leaf springs go loose, the cover rattles every time you type. So that gets annoying. So you take it off, put it aside, type more quietly, then forget to put it back on again.
Yeah, that's probably it. And other than that, it's nice. I mean, it has a nice case. It cleaned up. It looks really quite new, but new, unused, not battered. Yeah. But just missing that cover.
I suspect.
But for 15 Canadian dollars, you can't complain. So
10 US.
I suspect all the covers for those are not the same, because I think it's been sanded in. Like they had the top on and they finished the metal and then they they painted afterwards because it fits so
Oh.
well. It looks like it's blended in, unless
Wow.
the machining is really, really precise. But it seems like they smush them together when they before they paint it.
Yeah.
So yeah, usually looks plenty cool without it.
I like the cardboard idea.
The cardboard.
Yeah, make the whole body out of cardboard.
Yeah.
Where's Joe?
Cardboard
Is Joe on
typewriter.
here yet?
Well, you know,
Yeah. And gaffer's tape too. Got to have that gaffer's tape.
See?
Joe made that ribbon cover out of wood.
Wood,
And
yeah.
that looks nice. Yeah.
Yep.
well, I was really thinking, there could be a whole business opportunity here for 3D printing. If you
Yeah,
could
oh,
just,
Yeah.
yeah, it just seems like something that, would be great to try to 3D print a cover like that, right? So,
Well, Joe has a 3D printer now.
oh, does he? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have, I don't even think we have, I think our town's so small. I don't even think people even have those here. But yeah, I know the next kind of town over, I know that they actually have a service, like a place where you can go and actually get things 3D printed.
Yeah,
Part of
a
kind
lot
of
of
like a tech group that does it.
yeah.
I
A
have
lot of
seen
library-
people print 3D print covers for Hermes babies,
Oh, okay.
and it apparently worked out. It was not really close with the color, but it did work.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The filament for those, it comes in so many different colors. I would think they would be able to get a color that's very similar.
When you've got 30 or 40 or 50 different color choices, you don't have enough to cover.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
You're talking literally millions of colors
That
possibilities.
is true. Yeah. That's true.
I think they ought to do a market for these little plastic travelers. It's all metal.
Oh, I love
except for
those.
these. If they just do this side in and make it all metal, I think that'd be and maybe get rid of these ribs. But then I'm no designer.
Oh, those make the typewriter.
This
I
what?
love those. Those make the typewriter. I love those about the Traveler.
I like it. You like the plastic?
No, I like the
The outline.
the
okay.
outline, the frame. Yeah.
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 The curves. You like the curves.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but those facets faucets, that's what those little springs is what William was talking about.
Yeah.
Those springs get loose, and then you lose the top cover.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice. I like the TP ones a lot better than the twos. I just like the shape. The twos are probably good. I just don't have one.
Yeah.
No doubt. The only thing that's strange about these is that margin is not like on any other Olympia or anything else. The zero starts way over here, but on this one it starts like all the way over. So when you put 8.5, 11, it's all the way out here on the end. It's just
Weird.
like instead of being here, it's over here, and then this back part doesn't really match up with that, but or maybe I'm just overthinking it. I don't know. It is different. They're Sweden,
Yeah.
It's neat.
Interesting. All right. Marina, was there anything else new with you?
no, I'm happy that there's nothing else new, to be honest.
Right.
I know. I hope things get better for you. Definitely. But it's very good seeing you though. Definitely.
Well, it's good to be here and to see everybody's faces. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Excellent.
I haven't got a facet typewriter, but I've got a facet calculating machine.
Neat.
Oh. That's it in the background there?
Yes, it is. Oh boy. There you go.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
And I think this is rather miraculous for the time. It can do all for basic operations, and it can do it continuously.
Does it have a motor or a hand crank?
It's a hand crank.
Oh, cool.
Ooh,
that's neat.
Wow.
I've forgotten the model number. That's that. And I'm yellow now.
Very cool. Excellent. Let's see. I also wanted to be sure and say hi to Waz. I don't think we've seen Waz before. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, everybody.
Excellent.
Yeah, this is the first time that I've been here, so
Welcome.
Yeah,
More the
thank
merrier.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's fun to see faces and hear all the voices. That
I know, right?
For some of you that
Yeah,
I've seen
all
around
the crazy
Instagram.
typewriter people. Yeah.
So did you just want to briefly introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Waz. I live in Albuquerque, New Mexico, here in the States. I have been, well, it's so funny. Like I've had a typewriter for like a decade as a writer, and then about a year and a half ago started to use it just as to do first drafts, because I got so annoyed with using the computer because it's so easy to edit like immediately. And so this was a way to just write. And then I got the bug to try to find other typewriters. And then I went into a crazy frenzy for a while, which I think most people are used, like that's like the thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then went from one to like having like 22 of them. And so I have 17 now, and I've gifted a couple and I've sold a couple just because now I know which machines, at least now, like that I really like.
Yep.
And so I have like 3 that I use on a regular basis. And I'm getting better at, I think too, just growing up in like, you know, the digital age with like my dad had one of the first computers. I was scared of the typewriter, like, oh, I can't change a ribbon. I can't like clean the, you know, and now it's like, oh, it's not that bad. And thank goodness for YouTube and all of the, like, there's a video for everything. I just love it so much. So yeah, so that's been fun. What else? My common typing mistake, I always, like there's so many 8s in all my drafts, like the apostrophe, it's like it hides when I'm ready to use it.
Excellent. And what is your favorite typewriter in your collection?
Oh gosh. Well, right now I have still my first one. It's an Olympia SF Deluxe, and I love that one so much. It just types beautifully. And then I was gifted a Smith Corona, a Super Silent, and I love the way that types too. And the third one that I'm using a lot right now is the Galaxy. I was gifted one of those, and I just really like the shape of the keys. I like how my fingers feel, and, you know, drop it into those. But I've never played with a Hermes yet. I had an Olivetti, a beautiful one, and then I actually just sold it last week because it just was so beautiful and I wasn't using it. Something about, I don't know, I just felt like I was like falling into the keys on those.
It's mushy. It's how I describe it. It's a mushy typewriter. They're great typewriters, but they're mushy.
Yeah, that's a good word for it, mushy, for sure. Like I was like, oh, I just kept falling. I felt like, you know, like I was climbing up ropes, but my feet kept falling into like the ropes. Like that's how my fingers felt as I was like typing, like, missing the keys. But it was beautiful. So yeah.
So it looks like you have your Silent Super and your Galaxy on this counter behind you.
Yeah, because I was cleaning. Well, actually, I got new ribbons yesterday from Lucas from Typewriter Chicago.
Yeah.
I'd been buying my ribbons off of Amazon, and then I was like, so we don't want to support people in the community, and it's a much better ribbon. Anyway.
You will notice a huge improvement in quality in the ribbon itself, in the print, and how long it lasts.
Yeah, no, I just, as soon as I put it, because I only got 2, put those in those machines, I was like, well, my gosh, this is like a night and day from what I had in there. So I'm excited. Yeah.
And another quick trick is get yourself a couple of pairs of latex or
Nitrile.
vinyl examination gloves when you're changing the ribbons so you don't get ink all over your fingers.
Yeah, I do have some, but then I noticed like I think maybe the gloves are too big, because then it just felt like it was in the way, and I was like grabbing the glove instead of the ribbon, and so I was like, so then I ended up throwing those out and still getting all icky fingers. But
Learn to embrace the ink.
Yeah.
That's one problem I never have. I never have gloves that are too big. My problem is finding gloves big enough.
Oh.
Or like a 2XL mechanics glove is a tight fit on my hands.
Oh.
Yeah, I wear a size 13 wedding ring.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think at the arts and crafts store, I saw these little latex fingertip things
Oh,
that just
yeah.
slide over your
Jeez.
fingertips.
Finger cots. Yeah.
Yes, finger cots. Yes. So that might be an idea. They wouldn't be so baggy on the ends, because I know exactly what you're talking about. You're like trying to do something delicate, and it's like you have these extra long fingers.
Yeah.
If you don't mind ET phone home, those are perfect. Those
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
Black nail polish also works.
Oh, okay.
and you look good after.
That's right.
Yep.
Well, Waz,
Oh, very cool.
you got a very cool name too, by the way. I think it's
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's got that marketing vibe.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
What's your cat's name?
This she's Olive Pants.
Olive pants?
Olive Pants, yeah.
I love that.
Oh, how many pants is she wearing? All the pants. Olive pants.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, no, she's Olive Pants.
Cute.
Yeah, she needed to make an appearance, of course.
We've got a pretty good typewriter cat community here too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yay!
Typewriter
And
pet.
dogs.
Typewriter
Pet
pet.
community.
Yes, dogs also.
Oh,
Dogs
man.
also.
I have plants. They're alive.
Oh.
I have vegan pet.
Okay.
Oh, and May, you can get some catnip.
Oh yeah. And then
Catnip,
send it to
yeah.
you.
No, so you can have your own cat. It'll be catnip. Plus, you can drink it as tea, actually. Yeah.
I like cats and dogs equally. And
Very good.
Waz,
Very good.
Waz, do you have the Vogue typeface yet? And with the name like that, you
No.
need
everybody wants the Vogue.
I know
Does
everybody
anyone
wants
have
the
the Vogue typeface in here? Anyone? Oh, of course you do, Sean.
All right.
You have every typewriter there is. Or that's the goal, right?
Right. Always
The
the goal.
typewriter museum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only a typeface sample
Yeah.
of
I keep looking.
Now, was you mentioned writing. Do you care to share what kind of writing you do?
Mainly young adult fiction.
Ooh.
And I've had done some kind of like, creative nonfiction, but I'm actually now working on a young adult fiction novel told in verse. So that's been super fun. A whole new way into telling a story. So if you guys are familiar with novels written in verse or not, it's a super quick way to read. And it's, even if you don't like poetry, because I didn't think I'd enjoy that, but it's like every poem could stand on its own, but it still moves the story forward. So it's been super fun way to write.
That must be challenging, though.
I thought it was going to be more challenging than it is. So basically, I've been writing like the really rough draft, and then as I go through, then I find poems within that still. So it's like still written, I guess, in a longer way first.
Okay.
But it's fun to see visually on the page too as you move through the story and work with the characters, and so yeah.
Very cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, I like to type the first couple stanzas of Jabberwocky when I do a new typewriter.
Yeah. That's cool. And other than writing, are there any other uses for your typewriters? Well, you do letters, I'm sure.
Doors open.
Big time, write a lot of snail mail. And then last week I did, for the first time I did a typewriter poet event. Like there was somebody like who was doing an event here in Albuquerque and asked if I wanted to do that. And that was actually really fun. I'd never thought about doing that. And at the end of it, I was so exhausted. Like I don't do that much peopling. and any given time, there was a lot of peopling for like 5 hours. But yeah, it was fun.
And it uses brain power.
Oh yeah, it was a crazy use of brain power that day for sure.
Yeah.
And then it was interesting when people would come up and they'd want me to write something, you know, they got to give you something, like some details. And like, so it was, you know, some people had better ones than others based on that, but it was fun. I might do another one. I got a couple of people asking about doing other ones from that. It was nothing I thought I'd ever do. And it was a lot of fun.
Nice. Wow.
Have you met Joe yet? Do you know Joe?
I have not. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I did meet Joe. It was like they had a type in here in Albuquerque last fall, but it was before I knew who Joe was.
Oh.
It was like one of those things where I heard about this type in and I went and I met all these people. And then later I'm like, oh, wow, that's like, he's kind of like a superstar. Yeah. So we've exchanged some emails and I just sent him a postcard the other day. So I guess technically, yes, I have met him, but I didn't realize that's who it was when I did.
He won't be on today, he said, but that's too bad. But yeah, Joe's our superstar.
Yeah.
That is excellent. I was actually going to ask if you had ever run into Joe just like out and about.
Yeah, it's the type in that we had, which was really cool too.
Yeah.
So
you should stalk him like, regularly. You should follow him on his walks and then
Drive by his house really slowly.
Well, it's like it'll be like all the Breaking Bad kind of like houses, and then there's gonna be Joe's. So
Go look for and take his little CubeSats that he leaves around.
Yeah.
He's been wanting people to take those.
The stuff he leaves in the book boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Or leave him stuff in the book boxes.
Right.
Maybe leave
I have a
him
book box
some
out front of my house too. So
cool.
If you drop off weird stuff with Joe, he'll just mail it to Ted.
Excellent. Boy, I'm so glad you could join us, Waz. It was very nice meeting you.
Great. And I can't remember who posted. Somebody posted this on Instagram, and I was like going through, and I was like, "Oh, there it is. I'm going to get on." So, thank you for having me. I'm going to leave soon to go swim this morning, but it was so good to be here. Thank you, everybody.
Excellent. Excellent. You're one of us now.
You're one of us.
One of us. One of us.
You'll keep hearing the voices.
I know, huh?
For the greater good.
Let's see. May, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Obviously, I'm off camera doing my usual Sunday chores.
How's your dad doing?
He's doing better. He actually, I got a call early this morning that he, well, they said he fell out of bed, but he really just got out of bed and tried to get out, which was actually a good thing. He didn't hurt himself. He was just kind of slumped sitting up on the floor, feeling defeated, but he got up. So that was good news because he hasn't done that in a month. So.
Progress.
Yeah, progress. Yeah, he's strong enough to get out of bed now. He needs to get stronger to move around. So more progress. Yeah. So I type.
That's great.
I'm doing a thing now where I type notes for Typewriter Club Live, as you think of things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So of course we talked about everyone makes the I-A-M mistake and apostrophes, everywhere. But I never make them on electric typewriters because they're so much like computers with that apostrophe that I'm used to. So one of the reasons I like electric, I can type so fast. I'm doing and then also when I'm hearing my echo. Somebody's got an echo and it's making me nervous. Now it's hard to concentrate when you hear yourself echo. Like it's hard to talk.
I know.
And also when I'm typing all caps, like on envelopes, addressing envelopes, I forget to release the shift. And then it looks like I'm typing curse words, instead of numbers. And then as far as typewriter news, I'm sticking to my goal of no new typewriter. So, it's going to be a little boring, with my updates. But, I'm still saving for those new Platens because I think a lot of them would be much better machines with fresh rubber And I've been using, a lot of my typewriters, manual versus electric, about 50-50, but never electrics at night because they are loud, especially that, auto return, which I actually am liking again, the auto return, because I can type faster.
Yeah.
And then at night, the Latera 32 seems to be my quietest machine. So if it's late at night, I type on one of those two. And then I got some silk ribbon a couple of weeks ago, but I'm having a little trouble deciding which typewriter, deserves it most. Do I put it on
that's the
my
trouble.
Hermes? Do I put it on my Cursive? Maybe I just need to get a couple more of these after I try it out on one. But I still haven't installed the silk ribbon yet. And other than that, I haven't been typing much, obviously not blogging or anything. I've been busy with family stuff. But catching
Yeah,
up on
definitely.
letters finally. I've been going through and one by one catching up on letters. So I apologize if I look like a snob and I haven't answered in a long time. I'm not, I've just been busy. And then I got, typewriter adjacent stuff. We don't just type on our letters. Ted puts us fancy stamps with stickers. And then I was looking for something else, some office stuff, and I came across sparkle gel pens. I know they've been around for a while, but I've never used sparkle gel pens. And I was like, I just need to treat myself to something cute and fancy. And so I just really like of course, the camera's not going to pick up. But
We saw it a little bit.
It does.
yeah,
It glitters.
they're very glittery and reflective.
Yeah.
And then when you write on black,
Ooh,
they give a different
nice.
color than they do on white paper. So like the glitter is a different color than the ink. And so what they do on white isn't the same as how they show up on black. Anyway,
Interesting.
typewriter adjacent gel pens. And still don't have an EDCN because, I get so many of these little folio things at school. So I kind of have my own EDCNs already made. And this
Well,
one
if
is
you send me something,
and I turn these into turn this one into stamp organization. So I've got my postcards, my foreign stamps or international, and then regular stamps. So this is my letter writing stamp collection. And
like a
I'll
cassette
trade you.
tape.
I've got something for Ted. I actually found something that he might like. It's not trash. I didn't pick it up off the ground. But
You owe me a cassette tape.
I'll trade you for a Ted made EDCN. That would be awesome.
I could do that. But you owe me a cassette tape.
That's true. That's true. I still have not worked on my 4-track. I know what needs to be done, but I'm just too timid to take it all apart to change that belt. That's a
I
lot
don't
of
think
parts.
I've ever heard timid being used as a word to
Well,
describe you.
I know it's going to probably take hours, and so setting aside that time to spend hours, it's been a little difficult lately. So when
Can't tell me
summertime,
timid.
or
Timid
maybe
doesn't
I will
work.
just send it to you, Ted, and you can fix it, and I'll gift you something awesomely typewriter related.
You can do that.
Yeah.
There you go.
What is it?
Oh, what is what?
What is May supposed to fix?
Oh,
Oh,
my 4-track cassette player recorder.
Yeah, she needs to
So,
replace the belts in
Yeah,
it.
it plays, like it will play, but it won't, it fast forwards and plays, but it won't rewind. So it gets a
Oh.
little annoying, but it still plays and forwards just fine. But when I go to rewind, you have to take it out, flip it over, and then put it back.
Interesting.
So yeah,
Yes.
so it still works. I just need that one belt replaced. And yeah, there's a lot of parts to take off first to get underneath, unfortunately. So later,
Wow.
maybe in the summertime would be better for me.
Yeah.
I got a question for you on your 4-track.
Yeah.
I've heard of 4-track, 8-track and 4-track tapes, the never-ending loop tapes.
Yeah.
But I hadn't heard of a 4-track cassette, and so I'm curious.
Oh, I'll get it for you. Sure.
All cassette tapes are 4-track, but
Are they?
stereo decks only play 2 tracks, and that's why you flip it over to play the other 2.
Oh,
But
okay.
4-track cassette,
It's just
Yeah.
not a common term for a cassette, I guess.
Yeah.
yeah, a 4-track cassette recorder records in one direction on all 4 tracks, so you can have multi-layered instruments.
Yep.
So, yeah, so basically you go one direction.
Yeah.
and instead of
Okay.
stereo, you have
Oh,
Oreo. I
So
guess.
Vestax? I can't see what the,
Yeah, Vestax.
yeah,
It's made in Japan.
I've never seen one of those. That's neat.
Is that
Probably,
90s or something?
I would say early.
2000s.
No, it's early 90s. It's
Oh.
I would say early to mid 90s. I think
Ah.
94, 95, somewhere in there.
Neat.
It still works. Yeah, just the rewind. It's the belt. It's just loose. You know, you can see it and feel it. It's just, but everything else still works fine. Yeah, it's
Cool.
neat. It's how I
That
learned
is-
how to play cool music. Like I grew up playing in orchestra, violin.
cool.
But then as I got older, I wanted to learn guitar, you know, the cool instruments,
I just
guitar
didn't-
and bass, drums. And so I taught myself using the 4-track.
I've seen one of the guys from Nine Inch Nails play a 4-track as a performance thing.
Oh, wow.
He'll like speed up and slow it down and rewind stuff as it's playing.
Yeah.
The cover taken off.
Neat.
Yep.
I'm sure he learned using a 4-track too. We're about the same age.
Yeah, you can make or buy loop cassettes that you can stick in those and record one track and just have it loop, and then record a second track and have it loop over that, and a third track and have it loop over that.
Oh, cool.
It's a very, very neat performance
So a
tool.
special kind of
Yeah.
cassette that just is
Yeah,
continuous?
it's you can actually make one that's just
twist in
a
it.
cassette that has the tape around the thing in a loop. So you can do like a 3-second loop and tape the tape together and just have it run through the cassette shell
Yeah.
and just run over and over again.
Some answering machines used to use those, so they didn't rewind.
Oh,
You
so
play
just
to
a
the
few
end,
seconds,
and then a beep
not
would
like the
happen.
whole 30 minutes.
Well,
yeah, you
you
could still make a cool loop.
can make large loops like that, but then you have to. It's really difficult to do because you have to get the loop from the inner part of the
Yeah, it's like those
core
chronomatic
to come out like an
cartridges.
8-track, and then you can have the loop
Yeah.
run through the
Where
cassette
the,
shell.
where the tape is just basically wiggled in there like
Yeah.
like an
Yeah.
8-track.
And
Mhm.
I've seen a video of Depeche Mode doing one of the first couple albums, and they've got a loop of tape going around like a lamp, and it goes around
Yeah,
like a chair
yeah.
back,
Yeah.
and then back around.
Yep.
So it's like a 20-second loop or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like a Mobius strip.
Yeah.
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 Not
For audio,
necessarily.
yeah.
If you do that, then
No, it wouldn't be a Mobius strip. Or
no.
would it be?
But
No.
if you flip it over, then you get weird stuff happening.
It's
But
just one.
Yeah.
it goes
one
backwards.
sided. Yeah. That would be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody should try that. I'm sure somebody might have. Someone like Ted probably has already tried that.
Well, if you did a Mobius strip in it, it would be twice as long, but some of the things would probably bleed over to the back of the tape.
Mhm.
It'd be pretty weird.
I've put them together backwards, but only because I didn't know I did when I was fixing my 8-track tape back in the 70s. You know, and you taped the ends together with a piece of Scotch tape, just to, you know, whatever. It had foil tape, so it changed the tracks, but if you
yeah.
lost that or it didn't work anymore, and you loop it all. I had it stretch all back and forth across the house before put them on backwards, and it's like, what's wrong with this tape? Or put it on upside down and you faintly hear it, but you don't hear the full quality of it. And you're like, what is wrong with this thing? So you got to get it right side up and forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
A little earlier on, we were talking about loose ribbon covers on the facets. And
Yes.
what I was talking about is not so much, I can get so I can see myself, not so much what am I? Not so much these little springs here, but these tabs either side, because the ribbon cover, these 4 cast protrusions sit on those tabs.
Oh.
And if the tabs drop down, then yes, you have the notch to go onto the spring, but then the ribbon cover rattles on the side of the frame as opposed to sitting on those 4 cast protrusions. So lift those leaves up a little, so the ribbon cover sits on the protrusions and is held up by the springs, then it doesn't rattle.
I don't have those protrusions on my lid. Mine looks like that. I don't have those things sticking up.
Oh.
And it
Huh.
doesn't rattle.
Okay. Now, see, this is a Facet TP2, so there may have been a design change between the TP1 and the TP2. That I don't have a TP1, so I can't answer to that.
I don't know which this is. TP1 or TP2? Does anyone want to hazard a guess?
I'm going to say a TP1 most likely.
Yeah, it's TP1.
Okay.
Because even though the TP2, see the passes are in squares, not circles.
Yeah, these are round.
Oh.
For the round.
Yep.
Nice.
And
That'll make all the difference right there.
yes. And the 1620 just has the Facet logo in one corner.
Okay, so I've got a TP1. You said?
Yeah.
Most likely.
It's got TP1. It's got that on the front.
Yeah.
And the same in the back that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's getting blurred on your screen.
The TP2 has the logo on one side as opposed to in the center.
Okay.
That way, the only springs it has are these the little ones in the front.
In the
here.
front, okay.
Little spring here.
The lock-in springs.
Yeah.
Lock into that.
So that
anyway
hooks in the back, then clips forward.
Yeah, mine.
Interesting.
looks the same.
Whereas this one just pushes straight down and clips in. Hey, I just learned something new. Excellent.
There you go.
I just love learning new stuff every time I'm on TypePals.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. May, anything else new with you?
No, not typewriter related.
Okay.
No, just enjoying what I have and trying to catch up
Very
on
good.
letters and trying to get myself motivated to do more of the blogging, public stuff, and even, to your galleries on TypePals. There's a lot, going on there with the forums, of course. So, but I'd like to see, Ted's typecast, although you've been handwriting a lot more than you've been typing, it's still typewriter related. So I definitely like reading blogs and enjoy seeing Bill. He's not here today, but he was last night. Enjoying seeing his updates as well as the rest of the typosphere. So good job for all of you guys posting and writing and keeping typewriters alive.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Mhm.
Very good.
Does anybody have a blog here? I know Diane has one, but you said it's been quiet lately. Brian?
Well, of course, mine is at
my-
poortypist.com.
Yeah, that's right.
My dog has a
Yeah.
blog, but he hasn't posted in a while.
Oh.
I have to bug him to post more.
Yeah.
It's a koa.dog. Everyone wants to know.
Yeah, Gregory, you
I
have a
love
whole
that.
community. You've got podcasts, you've got blog, you've got type club, you've got the whole, type pals, pen pal thing. What else is there? But plus you've got your Furbies, right? Your Furby collection.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're very well rounded when it comes to typewriters. You've covered all the bases.
Excellent. Well, it's so good to see you, May.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Gregory, I'm leaving
Yes.
soon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's late
How are
there,
you,
yeah.
Marvin?
It's 2 a.m. here.
Goodness.
Oh my goodness.
And I go to school at 5 a.m. So
Uh-oh. Oh.
Almost time to get
You're
up.
young, you can do it.
Yeah.
Take a
Oh.
nap later. Yeah, next
No
time
big
we
deal.
should get to Marvin first, just for that reason.
Yes. How are you,
Yeah.
Marvin?
honestly, I don't know. I'm doing quite well.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sleepy.
It's been 2 hours that I've forgotten what I had intended to say, but luckily, gentle ladies and gentlemen, I've written it down. So, Okay. I can't read my own handwriting.
You should use a typewriter.
I know.
Yes. Oh, okay. First of all, I'd like to begin with an apology. Many of you have sent me letters and postcards, but I have not responded to them beginning of in September of last year because of many different reasons. First of all, it was exam season for me. Second, my grandmother was ill, and I've got other business and matters I had to attend to, but I should reply all of them within this week before another wave of exams hit me again.
Oh, yeah.
So I've received at least 5 letters and postcards. I apologize very sincerely for not having responded to them. Getting in, speaking of correspondence, let me see. Okay. Personal story. I had sent a typewritten letter in the early days of September to Her late Majesty, the Queen Elizabeth, that is, the second. And I usually get a reply, the Queen instructs me to thank you for your last typewritten letter. And I've got a feeling that because I've written back and forth to her for at least 7 times, and that she has read them personally, she knows that I'm the typewriter guy. But then in early September, I wrote, and then just, when was it, the second? So just a week later, she passed away. So I got this, I got a reply, but it was not conveyed by her. If you look at the monogram.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Charles Rex.
Yes. So it does not have any of, it does not indicate that he knows I'm the typewriter guy. Not more interestingly, probably because he has no relation to previous correspondence.
Yes, yes.
But I was writing to him about the Slide Rule Museum, which I currently serve in. And so he just said, His Majesty is most grateful to you for taking the trouble to write in order to bring your work at the International Slide Rule Museum to his attention.
Oh, wow.
That's out of the way. I can't read my handwriting. That's a big problem. And I've been revamping the house. So as you can see, there are no typewriters here anymore. On my desk or anywhere in the room, there are no typewriters anymore. I made a new Victorian office back there. I call it the Victorian office. In reality, it has at least 100 anachronisms. And I intend to, I've been revamping my whole house, and I intend to put 1 typewriter in each room so I can work anywhere.
Ah, nice.
Bathroom too? Maybe. Sean, to give recommendations about that.
When the money comes, when I didn't have to care anymore about the cost of repairing rust.
Yeah.
Plenty of paperwork in there.
Marvin, when you get it set up, we need a tour
Yeah, that'd be nice.
of your
Of course.
Victorian office.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, that would be awesome.
well, it's done, but it's incredibly messy that if I show it, I will ruin my dignity.
Oh.
Have you seen this mess? We're okay with it.
Yeah.
That's not a mess. That's an organized piece of collection. This is
There you
not
go.
something similar to that. And I've got a friend who wants to give me an electric brother typewriter. I didn't know how valuable
Wow.
I'm drunk, valuable that will be.
Ah,
Just have to try it and
But-
see.
yeah.
It depends on the condition too, a lot of the time.
It's working properly, and in Indonesia, there are still lots of retailers selling the cartridge. But
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if it will still. I don't think it will still give off that typewriter feel to it.
Mm. A little too modern for you?
I guess so. Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you very easily don't use the brother, if you compare a manual typewriter to the Selectric, not the Selectric, sorry, the what's it? Yes, the Selectric. It's the Selectric produces a very crisp font, crisp lettering, and it doesn't look very typewritery.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Not as vintage.
It's too clean. Yes, it doesn't have the too straight, too clean.
What I do
Apologies
to
for my
No,
drunk talking.
what I do to counteract that is I make typos and I just go back and rather than use the lift off tape, I just X them out. And then it's like, oh, okay, this wasn't done on a computer.
That's why you make typos.
There you go.
Funny.
But I
Guys,
guess, sorry.
No, go ahead, Marvin.
No,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask you if there was anything else on in your notes there.
No, I had wanted to answer your question. What are your common mistakes when typing?
Yes.
What? Sorry. Give me a second. Oh, I don't pause long enough after depressing the space bar before resuming typing.
Oh, yeah.
That is one of the most common mistakes. Other than that, who showed the 15-minute book before? Oh, Sean. I used about 2 years ago. I used that exact book to improve my typing, and I guarantee you, if you follow every minute detail in that book, you can confidently type 100 words per minute.
Wow.
Without errors.
Yeah.
And I've done that so much so that no intention of boasting, but I don't purchase correction fluid anymore because I didn't make mistakes anymore.
Oh, wow.
If I do make mistakes, in the very rare occasion I do, I just throw the paper out and use it for something else.
Congratulations on your achievement of perfection. I don't use all of my fingers in the first place. I'm a hunt and pecker, so I will never get to that level, and I'm okay with it now.
But honestly, I modify my technique as well. I didn't use the pinky finger.
I'm
Because
curious about the space that you're talking about. You don't hit the space, or you hit the space bar and go to typing again too quickly. I'm curious about, is that a certain typewriter that does that, or do they all do that for you?
So it will appear as if you've typed on a half space.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he's talking about his technique rather than the
Yeah.
machine itself.
Yeah, that's kind of what I gathered, but I was wondering if that changed from machine to machine, Annie. Do you still get the half space and it's hitting, or because it seemed like that may be that it's like the carriage is too slow, and it made I have a hard time believing that you're too fast for that the space to the, because I don't know of anybody that's too fast on a well-tuned typewriter. So that's what I'm wondering about.
No, I think it's my my fingers. Those are my fingers. Before I release the space key, I instinctively type the next letter.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Okay.
You know, one thing that comes to mind, this is a short thought, of course, that when you send me correspondence, or when I send you correspondence, you sign it off. Not all of you do, but a lot of you sign autograph it. Now, 10 years in the future, when one of you become a successful author or something, I could sell that and become rich.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's tradition. I think every letter I've received has always had a hand signed signature.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
kind
I
of
think that's-
standard for a business letter too, as well, right?
Yeah.
Is that not normal, Marvin, in Indonesia?
Oh,
And
it
I
is
think-
normal. I mean, it's. I think it's very conventional. It's a what's it called? It's a mortal sin if you don't.
Oh, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. I think maybe some people in the, you know, with like the email mindset, you don't always think of signing it. I could be wrong. I always think of signing it, although there's probably been once or twice where I missed signing it. But yeah, I think
In
I
emails,
usually
do
sign
you
it.
still put your autograph, or do you just put your name?
It just the typewritten name and
Oh,
yeah. Actually, at one point, I did scan my signature and I was putting it in there, but I haven't done that in a long time, though. Yeah. Very cool. Well, it's so good to see you, Marvin.
Okay.
And I'm sorry we kept you up so late.
Oh, no problem. It's a what's it called? It's a bad habit for me, and I've done much worse.
He was about to get up anyway.
Well,
I know.
I've got
But
some
I
advice.
I find sorry.
I'm sorry. Oh, I've got some
Yeah.
advice for you, Marvin. I had a friend when I was a teenager, and we stayed up all night drinking and stuff like that. And he went out to buy pizza in the morning at work because he was hungry, but he hadn't slept all night. And so he was driving the truck on the freeway and rolled the truck and flew out of the truck, was in the hospital. And then I went and looked at the truck and I'm like, oh my God, he's dead because there's pizza all over inside the truck. But it wasn't him, but he still got hurt really bad on the road because he flew out of the truck. But anyway, don't fall asleep doing something important now. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
That's
Moral
good
of the
advice.
story.
But I do find consolation. And it's mostly because of work. I am enrolled in a very, I wouldn't say, I would say prestigious. In Indonesia, my school is considered one of the most prestigious. It's a Christian school, and you can imagine the workload. But I find consolation in that in early April, my job is finished and I will have graduated high school.
Wow, nice. Very good.
Hang in there.
Yeah. Excellent.
Okay, good. good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
Yes, yes. Same to you, Marvin. It's so good seeing you.
Thank you, everyone. And don't hesitate to send me letters or postcards because I will reply to them.
Very good, very good.
You don't need any excuses, but I make them all the time too. Don't worry about it. But anyway, you're doing awesome. I'm impressed.
Yeah,
No
definitely.
mistakes. That's very impressive. That's my goal.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes,
Thank
good
you.
to see you, Marvin. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Good night.
All right. Corbinian, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Excellent.
Yeah. In regards to the prompt for tonight, I make the same mistake by messing up the spacebar for some reason or another.
Oh, okay.
And then just continuing on, and it looks very German because it combines a lot of words.
Oh.
Has a very long word in the middle.
Yeah.
So, but I don't throw the paper out. I just carry on and just leave it like that. And it's like, okay, everyone can separate their words.
Exactly. Yes.
So yeah, nothing new except for my cool typewriter database
the
shirt.
hoodie. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw that by chance. For some reason, I stumbled across it, and thought I was like, oh, and it's also available on a hoodie. Okay, let's buy it. And yeah. So here in Switzerland, we actually had 15 degrees plus today. So spring has decided to show herself early. And
Wow.
yeah, but it's gonna go down again. Winter is coming back, but we didn't have any proper winter, so I not really envy you all of the snow and ice that some of you keep having. But yeah, we didn't have anything. We had a little something, and then it just disappeared again. So
Where are
it's
you?
really in the northern part of Switzerland.
Or what town? What city?
Aarau. I don't know if you know it. Einstein went to school here before
wow.
he
Oh,
then
really?
became famous and worked in Zurich and stuff like that. He went to, I think, high school. What's that? Secondary school, something like that. Yeah.
It's interesting. They had a lot about him in the Zurich Museum. It was
Yep.
I didn't realize he had spent so much time there.
Yeah. And then he moved continents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I'm doing great. I started my new job, and I'm very happy. So I didn't have time to watch all the YouTube videos of all of you guys, so I haven't caught up on all of the new developments, and Ted moving to handwriting, and not Ted, damn it, Joe moving on to writing by hand, and yeah, so I haven't
Ted
seen
too.
those.
Yeah, that too.
Cool.
And yeah, so I'm rambling a little because it's a little late for me as well, because I start my day at 5 as well. So, and it's 8:30, so it's fine, but I'm getting a little.
Can I ask you a question about being in Switzerland? So are you from there?
No, I'm actually Austrian, so the next alpine little country right next to it. But yeah.
And the reason I ask is because he said you said damn it so like perfectly. Like, wow.
No accent.
Did you pick that up in English in Austria?
No, yeah. No, I think I picked it up from an American boss I had. I was working for a Hartwell company a few years back, and they changed management right before they closed down the Swiss site. And I think I picked it up from him.
Did he curse
the
a lot?
accent, probably. He cursed a lot, yeah, because he had to close down. and nobody was happy. And yeah.
Oh.
Oh well. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
I've got a question for you. Is that a mini disc player way up on your shelf?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't get. We never had many of those in the States.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like the format, and that's why I keep using it. And nowadays, you as this is being recorded, I shouldn't say that. You can make your own carbon copies, so to speak, of streaming songs and making your own mixtape the same way you did it back then from the radio.
I would
but
love
nowadays
to do that.
you don't have any commercial breaks and shortened songs and stuff like
Yeah.
that. No, but I really like it. I've used it when I was younger, so in my younger days, the mobile mini disc players, and I had a large combined deck when I was a few years back, but for some reason I threw it out, and then I had to go to eBay to to listen to my old mini discs and record new ones. And I really like the format because it's, I think, the same way with LPs or some people with CDs or cassettes. You have something physical, and it's a different experience of not being able to stream one song and then 100, and then you just have what you recorded on your disc or what you purchased, and
And it's actually a better format than CDs, because the disc part is protected in the plastic cover.
Yep.
You
But I
find
think
it
the audio
difficult to get the CDs, like the blank CDs, or mini
Not
discs?
really. I have several from years back, and I deleted. You can delete your old stuff that you don't like anymore, and
Oh, okay.
re-record, and you can buy on eBay. Here in Europe, you often see, or you used to. It's getting more expensive, as everything is getting more expensive nowadays.
A little hard to find now in Europe, but there were almost very few of them in the U.S. I remember I went to a concert in Chicago. It was outside. It was Lionel Hampton and some other people, but it was when they were introducing the mini disc, or introducing maybe like a new format of it. Like, I don't know what the formats were, but they sponsored the concert. Sony had a big tent with mini disc. And like no one had ever seen it, and it died very soon after, but not so much in Europe.
Yeah, for some reason it caught on, especially in the German speaking parts, but then it disappeared with there it is. Yes.
What?
The color ones. Gregory is holding one.
Oh, nice. I can't see Greg.
Yeah.
Greg, say something.
There, I'll make myself.
Oh, yeah.
Briefly.
Very cool.
I pressed the wrong button.
Yeah, just like that. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
But they disappeared pretty quickly when MP3 players got cheap, and then
actually the door on this one is defective. This door is supposed to be like that
with a spring instead of a spring inside.
It's gone bad, huh?
Well, Ted, I expect the next mixtape I get to be on mini disc. We're on that.
I do not have a mini disc thing.
Oh, okay.
Never got into mini discs
yet.
Well, they're extreme.
It's another
extremely
format.
Expensive here.
Yeah, they're hard to find. It's hard to find good decks that are in good repair.
Yeah,
I know that because I see enough people. I have enough friends who have those sort of things, and I know it's like reel to reel. It's a hassle to keep up.
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't a hassle to keep up, it wouldn't be a fun hobby. So
right. I guess that's true. I prefer my hassles to be a little less expensive.
Yeah.
Less expensive and hard to get.
Yeah.
Sorry about that tangent, everybody. I saw the few little pixels up there over his left shoulder.
That's crazy that you spotted it. Oh man.
That's what this show is about, is like whatever everybody's weird little
It's in the
interests.
background.
Yeah, what's on the what's that on the shelf? Yeah,
Meanwhile, I keep looking at my face on Ted's screen.
Yep, you're gonna have to live with that. You mailed it to me.
I know. I made a thermal sticker of my face and sent it to Ted. So
Should know it was going to wind up on a magnifying glass at some point.
It lives on my Fresnelons now, so
I'm always with you, Ted.
yep. Every day, your happy smiling face.
Oh, that is so funny. And anything else new with you, Corbinian?
well, not really. I haven't bought a typewriter this year yet, so
the year
it's
is still
almost
young.
March. Maybe I make it a whole quarter without buying one. As my shelf is pretty full, and I think I need to gift a few to have room for more. But yeah. But I think on in Switzerland or here in Aarau, we have a night market in the summertime. It's called night market. Where you can just pay a fee and then set up your stall. And I thought about maybe opening or registering and then bringing a few typewriters to show and sell maybe. And yeah, thinking about that. So that's the only thing really new, aside from my job, and then getting
your sweatshirt
into the hang with that.
So
The new sweatshirt, yeah.
Oh yeah, and the shirt, yes.
Does your new boss cuss a lot?
No, he doesn't. He's Swiss. He doesn't cuss.
That's funny.
Well, damn it.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Well,
respectable
it's so
Swiss
good seeing you, Corbinian.
Likewise. Thanks.
Excellent.
Nice seeing you.
All right. I don't see Diane there unless she's hiding. So, Daniel, how are you doing?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure
Good to
to see everyone.
Yeah.
I connected last night a little bit with the group, and it was a very, very pleasant conversation. And then we actually talked about the fractions that are present on the keyboards and that on British, especially typewriters, that they have usually all the fractions from 1/8 up to 7/8 in 1/8 increment. And then I posted something on our forum last night before going to bed because it was I couldn't get it out of my mind, and it was something that from a discussion with Richard Polt about the origin of why fractions were so present on typewriters back then, and especially British and North American typewriters, but not so much on European or continental typewriters. Yes, they would put fractions for the American market, but so when I posted that on the forum, and with an image of an old invoice that used fractions on invoice, then I put my mind to rest and I was able to sleep. But it was keeping me a little bit awake last night. I was but I'm glad that I found the image. That image of the invoice is actually something that Richard Polt shared with me, and so he had that vintage invoice that's showing, and it's a photograph, and it's a little bit at an angle. It's not the best. It's not like a flat image. You see a perspective a little bit, so you don't see the whole invoice. But I think it's good enough. So it was a lot of fun. And Sean, I saw that Sean. Is he there? No, he may not be there.
No,
because I also got long time ago. Not long time ago. Okay, not that long ago, but like a year ago, I got the same book.
Nice.
From the practice, and the one that um, Marvin Clarence or Clarence Marvin? Sorry, was it
Marvin Clarence.
Was it Marvin that Marvin
Marvin,
talked about?
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
And I've been trying to find one of those things. Has anybody seen that in the wild? Like I'm looking at, like, anybody ever seen an organizer for, you've got your envelopes at the top vertically, and then you've got separators for different paper, I guess, types or different thickness, or you could put also carbon, at the bottom. Since this is a book from the 1940s, I imagine this was, maybe present back then.
Oh yeah.
But I've never seen one of those.
No.
I imagine those would be stacks of the letterheads from different people or personnel in the office for whom the secretary was typing letters.
Ah.
Yes, obviously it's different. It's absolutely different types of papers or different letterheads or different thickness,
Different letterheads.
so on and so forth. So for sure. But I'm asking, has anybody seen that piece of furniture?
Yeah.
I have never seen one, but it
I'm
sure looks handy.
considering making one.
Yeah.
Well, I'm considering making one, and mine probably won't be as high. It doesn't have to be as high because I don't have that many letterheads, or I don't work for a lot of people to type their letters. But yeah, I think it would be nice to have, and it could screw into the wall and free up the space on the typewriter desk. But I've seen, in fact, in the vintage typewriter desks, in the drawers, they have this kind of separators, but at an angle.
An angle, yes.
At an angle. So you open the drawer and you have a bunch of those at an angle, and you can pull the paper. Since I don't really want one of those vintage typewriter desks, I might just make one of those. Anyway, so that's a project.
Daniel, I have seen those at places like Value Village. Usually they've come out of like an office or someplace like that. And I always think of them as pigeonholes, and maybe that's the wrong thing to be thinking of them as. And I'm assuming William knows what that is. I don't know if that's a commonly used British phrase or not, or a Canadian phrase. I have no idea, but a pigeonhole.
It is, yeah, pigeonhole. It is for mail. Yeah, it is for mail.
Yeah, and I think because we even have like those types of things at the hospitals for the physicians put their handwritten notes in, and then they come by and pick them up and they type them all out and transcribe them, right? Yeah, I work for the health authority, so yeah, it's still a thing that we have, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. And
I don't know if they have like the letter ones, but the actual ones, the paper slots, yeah.
Yeah.
So are they wood or are they plastic? The ones that you've seen?
I'm gonna say they're wood, but they might not be wood. They might be, MDF or something of. Usually they're painted. Usually they're like some kind of beige or grey or something.
Battleship grey.
Yeah.
Finnegan's Hammerite.
Yeah. So you do. I'm not. I mean, these ones wouldn't be like antique wood type, but probably more, 80s or 90s type.
Yeah. I actually have a handmade one made out of plywood that's painted kind of a dusky blue color that I have on top of my wood file cabinet in my office area, where I call them little cubby holes.
Yeah.
You can put different papers and everything laying flat going down, and then you can put your envelopes going the other way.
I don't think they're too uncommon. I've seen a lot of variations of those at flea markets and thrift stores, and probably even just general, maybe Target has something, or IKEA or something. I don't really shop at IKEA, so I don't know. But I mean, they're not uncommon as far as I've seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah, at IKEA, they have a somewhat wide white painted one with cork, and it's just a flat file you pull forward. I had one and I didn't love it. Everything I ever get from IKEA, I end up just throwing away or selling because it just doesn't work.
Wow.
For some reason, it's just awkward. So I like the idea of making something that works best for you, for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
There's a guy named Preston in Michigan who's got he's got some of that vintage stuff. So he's in the typewriter community. You guys probably know who he is. Oh yeah, that's what that is. But I just don't think anything IKEA is really worth buying. But that's my opinion.
But some of those vintage.
Speaking of furniture, hey, look. Speaking of furniture, so I was here at the beginning, and then I had to go, and I got a new, very nice shelf. This thing was $40.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I've actually just gotten rid of like half of my books, and so I was replacing this shelf because I'm in a studio and I need more vertical space. So that's what I've been up to. So, and I got to go pet some dogs. So any day you pet a dog is a good day.
Oh yeah.
So that's anyway.
Cool when
Very
that works
cool.
out.
Yeah, I've seen like at Target even they're introducing furniture that is definitely vintage inspired. So I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up having something like that. So yeah.
I think I'll make one out of Baltic birch plywood and to the sizes, and I'll paint it a nice color. I know that at my mom's, we still have things that my dad used for his business, and there's a version of that is in metal sheet steel, like gray painted sheet metal, and but it's mostly for envelopes and like incoming and outgoing. So there's like two levels, but I might actually use that. It's got that Coles steel kind of desk look or color. It might be from the same.
I've got 3 of those on my desk. I keep seeing them at thrift stores, and I just can't resist buying them. It's like the in-out tray, and then it has like various other dividers that all like sheet steel. It looks like it comes with the desk, the cold cold steel desk.
So I might not have to, exactly. I might not have to make one. I might just.
They seem to be really common in thrift stores down here, so I imagine they're still pretty easily found. I don't think people are onto that trend.
Well,
not yet.
Yeah. Well, it's something that I'll have to discuss with my brothers about who gets it. But if I do get it, I think I'll put it to good use.
They're super handy.
Anyway, so that's yes, they are. Like they were for my dad. Anyway, so it worked for him. And since it's some kind of a vintage thing, I think it goes well with the typewriters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And we happen to have one of those Coles steel kids desk and chair that we had when we were kids for doing our homework. So it's a whole thing. It happens to be low enough that it could be used as a typewriter desk because it's lower than a regular table, right? But it's like a sounding board, but like a metal sounding board. If you type on that thing, it makes it reverberates, or it increases
it resonates.
Sound diffusion. So it's not that great for that purpose. But
I like
it's,
those old tiger oak things, the vintage furniture at a tiger. I got this big filing cabinet. It was kind of expensive, but it's really nice. It's a vintage tiger oak, and they have some other stuff. If you're going to make one, that would be actually, if you can, that would be a cool thing because you could build your own specifications on it. Once you figure out, kind of what works for you.
Yeah.
Maybe make it changeable so you can alter the size or the widths or something like that of the shelves and give yourself some flexibility.
yeah, that's the easiest, because I actually have a system to make holes for making shelves. So it's a system that you use with a router, and it moves all of the same distances, so you can really. It's very easy to make the holes in the side of shelving, to then put the little tabs.
Yeah.
And then sit the shelf on it, so make them adjustable. Yeah, that's a cool project.
Yeah,
but it
definitely.
doesn't prevent me from having both the sheet metal one and something else for typewriters.
Variety, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The one
I need
right
to build some shelving for my typewriters anyway. 'Cause
The-
right now they're
Yeah, me too.
Another alternative would be to router thin slots in the sidewalls and glue the shelves together. Then the shelves would hold the sidewalls together. And put a back on it. And if you make it so that paper fits in landscape ways, 8.5 by 11, the sides will be far enough apart that you could screw it to the wall into studs.
Ah.
Good idea. All kinds of options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely had fun with that.
Yeah.
That one
Well,
you
the
have
studs
right
are
next
16 inches, right? So yeah.
That
It's
one
quite
you have
possible.
right next to your cubbies where you put all the paper in that you showed us. That one right next to it looks like a sheet metal one that you were talking about. Is that not what that
16
was?
inches.
On the image, are you talking about this image, Larry?
Oh, that's right. Oh, well, you were showing us that. Yeah, right next to that. Isn't that one of those sheet metal ones?
Well, that's like an in-box and out-box for.
Yeah, but isn't that one of
you
the?
know,
I was picturing that you had one, and now I remember. Now you showed an image of it. That's right.
Well, it's
okay.
I have the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you showed me the book, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I just you held it. It looked on a screen. You're looking at a screen, so it's not as real to you anyway. So
Yeah.
I'll blame
Well, I
that.
thought it was pretty clear. That's a book.
No. It's I guess what didn't get in my brain is that it was a book anyway, even though it was clear that it was. I could see that it was when you showed it to me, but I forgot that part. It's just I had this image. I just had this image of what you showed us, and I was thinking, well, you had something right next to it.
Yeah.
It can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, so that's it for. Oh no, actually, you know what? Last weekend, I happened to. Well, I was going to visit my mom, and we had a family gathering. I drove through the island of Montreal and stopped by someone who I had started corresponding with. He's part of the Facebook group of the typewriter collectors, antique typewriter collectors, and he was asking questions, and I noticed that he was asking questions about certain typewriters, and ended up. Talking to him, and he's the one that gave me the very rusted Colibri that I'm going to try to restore. So I stopped by there and I picked it up, and we ended up chatting for 3 hours, and he showed me some of his typewriters that he had, and so on and so forth. So it was a really nice meeting. I talked to him about TypePal, and he might join. So we'll see if we get another pal joining the club. But certainly he was he started collecting 6 months ago.
Okay.
And but he used typewriters in college, so it's like he knew about typewriters, but he
Okay.
hadn't used one for many years.
Yeah.
Like most of us. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that typewriter, I got the typewriter. I have it with me here, and yeah, it's pretty bad shape. But actually, I found a parts Colibri in Colorado. Somebody had posted on the Facebook group page for typewriter parts that they had received this Colibri. This is an American keyboard, Colibri, a QWERTY keyboard, Colibri, that was shipped from within the US, but wasn't packed very well and was damaged during transport within the US, and became irrecuperable because of the damage. Unfortunately, they had to cut the shell. I don't know exactly why they cut the shell, but I don't know why. He said it was to try to correct the typewriter had been crooked. So because of damage, it was crooked, and so they couldn't try to put it back straight, and they couldn't remove the shell, so they cut the shell off to remove it. Anyway, like a nightmare story. But there's enough parts on that one, especially the back, where the typewriter that I was given is very rusted. So there are enough parts on that typewriter for me to maybe help with the chrome, especially that is totally gone on certain parts, and screws that are totally rusted. That I might get those parts, and might use that one to replace parts on the very rusted one.
Rust is an art form.
Yeah, well, it's not only just rusted, it's also like the paint is chipped on the front. It's cracked and chipped, and I don't know why, but it's an aluminum casting, the shell, and there's even like some wear, so much wear that there's aluminum that has been worn off, and with divots into the front part. So that's a lot. I mean, I'm not sure exactly how that happened, but so I'll try to see what we can do. And that's
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Excellent. Well, it's so good to see
Thank
you,
you very
Daniel.
much.
Yeah, you're
Yes,
welcome.
you too.
All right. Rich, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. Thanks. I don't have a whole lot to report. No new typewriters, although I did buy one this year and still hasn't come. I think the guy's off with my money.
Oh boy.
I don't know what to do with the Facebook market. I bought a number of things off it and have had no problems. And it just didn't occur to me somebody would try to sell a typewriter and then just take your money. But
Yeah.
and that's odd because it's still on Facebook Market for sale. So I don't know. Maybe something happened to the guy. I don't know.
That does
Interesting.
happen.
It does happen. Yeah.
But you haven't had any reply, obviously, or nothing.
None whatsoever. I've sent maybe about 5 messages. No response.
Did you report it to Facebook yet, or?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like that's going to do much. Just, I mean, I don't know if there's a more official way to post it to do that. But, I don't know. That's it.
Unfriend him. That'll teach him.
Well, we're not friends anyway. And,
Yeah.
it's just marketplace. So.
I think you can actually report the listing at least, and that will
Yeah.
make them look at it. And
So I think I did that. I'm not, well, I did something, and I'm thinking that's what the mechanism is to do that. I don't know if there's a more formal way or not. It didn't seem to have. I mean, nobody's contacting me, so
yeah.
I don't know if there's any result from that. But that's okay. It was only $40 only, but I mean, it could have been a lot worse. So.
Oh yeah.
And I have plenty of typewriters to work on.
Yeah.
How did you pay for that?
Cash App.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and which was kind of odd. I didn't have Cash App, and he asked if I had that. He didn't have PayPal, so I Googled it, and it actually was a real thing, Cash App. So so I installed it on my phone and then made the payment. He says, just let me know when you made the transaction. I sent him back a message saying it was done. That was the last I've heard of him, and no acknowledgement or anything. So unless he had a heart attack right then.
That's a good point.
I
That's a
can't
good
believe
point Brenda
someone
brought
bought
up,
the
though.
typewriter.
You
Oh,
might be able
so
to
there's
get money back you might
right.
be able to
Is there?
get money back from Cash App.
Yeah, I wonder if there's
couldn't
anything you
find
can
it.
do.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything on the Cash App site saying, anything like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't a credit card where I could have said, this is a bad payment, or I think PayPal has a way of doing that.
Oh yeah,
But I don't-
they do.
And ironically, about a week later, I went and met some gal. She was selling a Corona 3, and she used Cash App too. I actually went to her place where she lived and picked it up, and there was no problem with the Cash App transaction. She had it, so I don't think it was. I think Cash App is a legitimate transaction.
Oh, yeah.
Software, and
But I don't think they have the protections in place the way PayPal does.
yeah, maybe there's no fees that the sellers have to pay or something. I don't know how that works.
Now it comes out of your
Yeah.
bank to go to Cash App, though, right?
Yeah, you have to connect it to a bank.
You might be able to talk to your bank and just tell them, see what happens.
I would never, ever, 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 ever use Cash App unless you're right there in person and give them money.
Yeah.
And then just use cash. Okay.
I'm
Life
looking
lesson,
at what it.
Don't do
sorry.
it. You'll get
I'm
scammed. PayPal and Venmo. That's it.
Never heard that before.
Yeah. It's not
I'm
safe.
looking at what it says about fraud protection. Cash App and Zelle do not offer fraud protection for authorized payments. While you can file a claim on Cash App for purchases, which it says that if they haven't used it yet, you can cancel it, but you don't have recourse like you do with PayPal and Venmo.
Yeah, interesting. So, live another day, learn another lesson.
Yeah, but it does
Yeah.
say you can dispute a Cash App transaction with your bank directly. Notify the bank that is attached to your Cash App that you found an unauthorized transaction.
Like Larry was saying.
So, Rich, did you actually contact him and he just isn't responding? Because
No,
feel
I mean,
like
not
I would
other than through the
stalk the
message.
guy on Facebook and get in his profile and figure out who his friends are and stalk them, and
Yeah.
like I'd be making his life a goddamn misery.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't gone past the messenger and Facebook Market. But I
Okay.
guess he's in, I think it was New Smyrna Beach, which is probably about an hour from here. Maybe 2 hours. But he said, I mean, he wanted 35 for it, and then he said $5 for shipping. So I said, okay, that sounds reasonable. But I think even the thing is too is, why would they use a typewriter to scam people? I mean, you wouldn't think something as weird as a typewriter. Yeah, we're weird, but anything as weird as a typewriter, say, hey, I want to scam somebody. Let me just pretend I'm selling a typewriter.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that is the reason. Maybe that's why, because no one would suspect it.
Yeah.
I agree with Rich. I mean, maybe you should just, even just look and see if he's, has he posted anything to his profile? Was he still active? Did he drop down dead? Like, maybe that's more likely, because I agree with you. If you're going to scam someone, so I do a lot of photography, right? I'd be more likely to be scamming them on some kind of camera equipment that would be worth a lot more money. Something like that than a $40 typewriter.
Something different than a typewriter. Yeah.
Well, especially not a $40 one. I mean, if it was a $400 typewriter, maybe, but not a $40 typewriter.
True.
If it's a small amount, it's easier to get away with it because larger amounts will ping the authorization, and Cash App, they're using it because, I mean, there's some legitimate reasons for using it, but they're using it because it's easier to scam someone with it.
Yeah.
Even $40, it's not even worth your time to pursue it. Just
go
talk
through
to your
all that.
bank. see if
If
there's
it
any.
had been a lot more expensive, I probably would have just driven out to New Smyrna. You know, if it was like
Yeah.
a $100
That's
typewriter.
the principle
Yeah.
of the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's also the time, you know,
Yeah.
how much is your time worth, you know? But
That's
If your
true.
bank takes care of it though, and you might save a bunch of other people from being scammed as well.
that's really the main reason I reported it, just to get this. And there was a couple other purchases, comments about his sales. Most of them were positive, but there was like about 3 of them that said they never heard from the guy again. Now, I didn't read those before I made my my thing. I'm wondering if it was around the same time I made my purchase. Guys, you know, the other part, I mean, it doesn't justify me letting this slip out, but the guy obviously needs some kind of money. I did look at his profile, and he wasn't high on the hog kind of guy, but he didn't strike me as a scandalous person either. So
Okay.
I don't know, you know, it's like a donation, I suppose.
He wronged you. You must crush him and destroy his family and his family's family.
You're
You know,
hired, Ted.
what makes me mad, Rich? What makes me mad is to see people, old people get scammed. That's what makes me mad.
Yeah, well, he didn't know.
I'm just
He didn't know whether I was old or not. And,
Oh,
and,
yeah,
and,
he
it's-
would not.
and,
I'll
and,
just-
and at 63, I'm not.
I just give you a hard time. You gotta know me better than that, Rich. Come on.
I'm kidding.
Rich,
You're
what do you
older
mean?
than me, Larry.
Rich, you were buying a typewriter, and only old people buy typewriters.
Oh, you know, that was the first.
Ah, that's not true. Look at half the people on the screen. Come on.
Yeah,
Look at
we're all
all the people.
24.
Oh my God. There's
I'm 29.
most
Yeah.
people here
Oh,
are like
Brenda.
young.
Not really.
That's a
I know you're
scam.
29 yet.
Maybe I'm 37. No, I'm not.
You're 29.
You know, that's very disturbing the way Ted moved Gregory's picture around there.
Yeah.
Should make it talk. Make movable lips.
Cut the moke out. Do the.
Yeah. Oh man, that is funny.
But that was all I
So-
had, Gregory.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna ask. Yeah.
Typewriter.
Do the Monty Python trick.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was so good. It is so good seeing you, Rich.
Well, thank you. Nice to be here.
Oh,
Excellent.
I'm getting hungry, so I'm gonna bug out and get some lunch.
Okay.
Great
Yeah, bug
talking with everybody, and
Yes, good seeing you, William.
Hey, William.
See you, William.
Good to see you, William.
I'm helping at church next week, so won't be here, but might be here next Saturday evening. So take care all.
All right, you
See
too.
ya.
May look so small on the screen. It looks like she's miniature.
Miniature.
Mini me.
Oh,
That's funny.
From a Happy Meal.
Oh.
Mini me from a Happy Meal.
Let's see. And Larry, how are you?
oh, I'm fine, thank you.
Thirsty, huh?
Most common mistake I saw you have on there.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably is the same as my most common mistake with playing guitar too, is I think. And I'm serious though, because if you just do it and you know how to do it, it's like, why don't you just do it? But then all of a sudden your brain says something. Oh, where's that letter? It's like, I know where that letter is. Why is my brain saying that? You know, and
Yeah.
then you mess up.
So you overthink it?
Something like that. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
when you let something extra get in your brain other than just doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know when you make a mistake, right? I mean, before you look at it.
Yeah, you anticipate the mistake, and then of course you make it because you anticipate it. You shouldn't anticipate it. You should say, I know this, and then be done with it and do it what you know instead of thinking about it. But that'll mess you up every time thinking about it.
Because when it's for real, that's when you screw up.
Well, yeah. I
Pressure.
mean, if
What
you're
happens
just like
to
if you're
me.
in front of people live, it's easier to mess up because now you're in front of people live and you got your brain going other directions, and you shouldn't. You should still be with what you practice. But it's weird. It's just a weird thing with people. You know, when you're around, I mean, when I'm by myself, I do it too, though. So it's not just like the pressure of people. It's the
Yeah.
you put pressure on yourself too, and you're like, why do I do that?
Yeah. That's a good point.
Know the feeling.
So I got a new typewriter. It was, I talked to you about it before. I went to this, I did this type in and I had two people give me typewriters and I want you to guess what it is.
A Hermes.
And it's absolute. I'm floored that this lady, I haven't heard back from her, and I shouldn't tell you this, but I actually typed a letter to her to thank her. I shouldn't tell you this because I didn't type any your letter, but but anyway, I did thank her for it, and it's gorgeous, and it's the Techno Pica typeface, and
back in the saddle again.
It's beautiful.
I think that's karma at play because you gave out a Hermes and now you got one back.
You got it back. The universe gave it back to you.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't need another pica because I had two pica ones, and that's what I gave her as a pica one. And so now I got a Techno pica. So it's like that's
awesome.
Wow, that's very cool.
Isn't that right, May? Wasn't yours a pica also? I think I gave you another pica. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, she's not.
It looks like Christoph has one there.
Oh, is that the newer Hermes? That's a different case.
Let's see.
Oh no!
Very
How
cool.
come that case looked different? Was that a rounded case? It looked squared off to me. That's an Azurity. Did I see that on Facebook recently, like yesterday or something?
Yeah, and this one is from today. But.
Oh, it's upside
There's a
down.
baby inside.
Oh.
Great.
Wow.
I love that.
My goodness.
That one too. Mine's a rocket. I love that one.
It was a big surprise of the day.
Yeah. Wow.
No, that's nice.
Beautiful.
Oh,
very cool.
Look what I did. I got a battery for my watch.
And this one is not.
Hermes. It goes like this. You can read it too. It's one of those readable watches. It's probably from the 90s or something. I don't know. I was like, I don't get a battery and work. Does anybody wear a watch, or did I just make a mistake I bought a new band for it too at Walmart yesterday, and I don't like it because I need to go on the internet because they just had these silicone bands. Does anybody wear a watch still?
I do.
Do you? Okay,
Yeah,
sure. I mean, it's kind of, you don't have to get your phone out of your pocket for one thing.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't have my watch with me right now, but mine is not easy to read. Actually, it's a very artsy watch.
Oh.
The color of the face of it changes according to the time, and the general color scheme is blue. And so my wife asked me what time it was, and I said it is blue. It's very hard to read.
I think it sticks in my head better when I look at this, what time it is, than when I look at a digital clock. And I know it says on the digital clock, but it just seems like I'm so used to seeing them everywhere in the house and on my phone that you don't pay that much attention. It's like my calendar on my phone. It tells me of everything that I have to do, and I don't pay attention to it because there's too many things that tells me what to do, and I don't want to listen to it. So then I forget stuff because so at least with my watch, it's like, well, I got a new watch and I'm going to look at it. I know what time it is now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's convoluted thinking or something. I don't know, but it seems to, I like it. And you know what is that's the kind of watch that, you had to learn to tell time when you were a little kid, and it had all the numbers on it.
Yeah.
So that's, it's like almost like a typewriter. It's like real instead of this weird thing.
Yeah.
That knows what it is.
Analog.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, very cool. Anything else new with you, Larry?
Oh my gosh.
The pressure's on.
I think it should. I cleaned up that other one a little bit. That 1940 Royal Aristocrat I showed you last week. I cleaned that up a little bit and put a drawband on it and cleaned the type slugs, which kind of a miracle because I got in trouble for posting a poem the other day, Valentine's Day. Some guy was talking about how I should have cleaned the type slugs. How it didn't look, aesthetically pleasing. And he's right. I just went ahead and did the quick and
You went straight for the juggler, Larry.
No, not the slugs.
I just, that's me. He pegged me perfectly. That's the way I am. I have friends that play guitar. Rich, I know you play, and you probably, I don't know what you do, but you might listen to music over and over and over again, learn to play it perfectly with it. I don't know. I got something in my head from 20 years ago. I'm going to play it. And it don't matter if I've heard it since then. I don't really want to know how it goes because then I'll probably have to work a lot harder at making it perfect. And I'm like, I've always felt like I was a perfectionist, but not in the way of like this kind of stuff. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know.
No, it's funny when you say that, Larry, because I have some lead guitar things in my head from when I heard something when I grew up, or my teens, 20s, or whatever, 30s, and I could go to my recorder and just start putting the thing together, and it'll come out. I don't know if it's 100% accurate because I'd have to turn on the music to listen to it, but it sounds right to me,
Yeah.
And then after some time, I'll go back and I'll listen to it and I'll fix it. I mean, it obviously wouldn't have been exact, but it's interesting what actually my mind remembers that kind of stuff, the guitar stuff.
And it remembers it in its own way a lot of times, and it's a lot of times it's fine. And just like a poem, some people are really great at making everything beautiful, and I understand that beauty when I look at it. And just like this art place that I had my typewriter set up, and I still have one down there, that I help them with labor down there, and I've been helping them for the last couple of weeks just with their stuff. I move stuff around for them. The manager says, "Hey, Larry, could you help me do that?" Yeah, because I'm having fun and meet a lot of people, and there's bands that play there, and I plan on playing there. I asked them if I could, and they said yeah. So, but it's a lot of fun working there. But they're setting up art things, and he's like, "Could you set up this display over there?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'll try," And I set stuff up. But I don't feel like I'm very like artful at setting things up. It's like, okay, somebody probably needs to like set it up to look good. I just like, okay, I'll move the stuff there, and you put it so it looks pretty, aesthetically pleasing or something. I'm not great at aesthetics, I guess.
Creativity takes energy.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe I don't have any energy.
I get tired. I mean, recording and playing music wears me out a lot. I think it must be my brain that's getting wore out, but just that kind of stuff tires me more than reading a book.
Yeah, when I get energy when I play, but like I'll play for a few hours and then I'm exhausted.
Then you get tired. That's
yeah, it does take a lot of energy. You're right.
Yeah, excellent. Well, it's good to see you, Larry.
Yeah, it's nice to see everybody. I always look forward to this, and I stayed on here with Diana. I don't know, for like 2.5 more hours, and I wouldn't let her go. She's like, my mom, I gotta go see my mom. I kept talking, kept going.
That's funny.
It's just nice to have people to talk to.
Of course. Yeah. Excellent. Christopher McKellar, how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for hosting us and making this an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
It's always good. I don't have any new typewriters. I'm sort of given up on the Holy Grail because there isn't one, but I learned that from pens, which cost me a lot more than typewriters, but there you go. But my most typing mistake is similar. We've heard it before. On my manual machines, apparently I leave my thumb down on the space bar a little too long. So then I type the next two characters and they're stuck together, especially like the letter T. If I type T-O, it's over the T, and I slow down and I'm okay for a while and it works really well. And then I forget and go back. but I pulled out my Skywriter, which I hadn't used in about a year. I mean, I was collecting. I thought, oh, everybody needs a Skywriter, and this one happened to be about a mile from my house, so I picked it up, had it serviced. But I started typing with it the other day, and it's just, the skipping is unbelievable how bad it was. I'd slow it down, and it was still. So then I'd stop touch typing and go to typing just 2 fingers, and it wouldn't skip anymore. So I have no idea if it's my technique or if it's something that's wrong with the typewriter, needs to be readjusted. Anyway, any ideas would be a lovely thing to have.
It's always the fault of the machine, as I think someone mentioned before.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that, really. I thought there was just like, it doesn't let you really type two. Of course you can't type 2 letters at once because they jam the bars up. But I really didn't know you could. But I guess that it. I mean, 2 people here said that they did. So I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't realize that. I was wondering if it was the machine. But I guess
I know Joe actually likes typewriters that do a half space when you press the space bar, because then you could get that little extra space in there if you need to squeeze letters together or something. So for him, it's a feature.
and if you have and then this may be not the answer, and it may cause damage if you do it too tight. But if you did one more wrap on your drawband, maybe a little faster. I don't know, but if you're not letting up on the type bar, then on the space bar, I guess that would work. So
that's what it seems to be. It does the same thing on 3 of my manuals that I've tested it on. I thought, well, let's find out what this is. And it's mostly going from a space to a letter T is the most common one, but like to an F or something also, I just need to slow it down. I've tried all sorts of rhythmic things, typing the word, then hitting the space, typing the word, and that fixes it. But I don't know what I'm going to do with the Skywriter. It's like a terrible mess with all this skipping. And I'd slow it down, and then at the same speed, I'd finger type, and it would be fine. So I'm wondering if I'm holding some keys or hitting the shift bar, or it's very weird.
Oh,
Are you getting spaces in, Christopher? Are you getting spaces with this?
Yes.
Yeah, I have that problem with my Skywriter. I think actually it's maybe an escapement problem.
Yeah, I was afraid that it might be.
Here's what you need.
Yeah, like you just get random spaces in the middle of sentences.
That's what this is made for. Type to this.
I call that Mr. Metronome when I'm teaching my students, and yes, we.
It's for
the Typetronome.
Yeah.
Also, Ted is gone, but how does one access his current blogs? Can anybody give me a quick answer for that?
Munk.org, MUNK.org.
Yes.
And then that will lead you. Well, yeah, but monk.org will lead you to a bunch of his other stuff in addition to his typecast.
Yeah.
So he's got music stuff and other.
So I type monk.org and I'm lost. I don't know how to find his current blog.
And then at the very top left, he has some link. One of them says typecast. It's like a little small paragraph. Yeah. And then that will take you to his typewriter blog, which is everyone's favorite.
Excellent.
Yeah, I usually just type the address monk.org/typecast, and yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Now I know what to do for the rest of my afternoon.
I've got
Thank you so much.
He's been very, very active. In fact, I suspect he left just now to go do some blogging.
Yeah, well, when I heard that earlier, I thought, I'm going to ask these people and try it again, because I imagine he writes very interesting stuff.
He does. Yeah, definitely. And I actually enjoy, he's been posting a lot of his handwritten notes from his little notebook. And I actually enjoy seeing people's handwriting. So
yeah, me too.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I have a romance with typewriters and fountain pens, and I'm not sure who's the spouse and who's the mistress, or if they're both just kind of girlfriends. But they go in and out. I love one for a while, and then I love the other one for a while, and go back and forth. So
yeah,
like having an extra family somewhere. I'm not quite sure, but
oh man.
I think Christopher, you're not the only one that likes fountain pens in this room.
I know.
Oh yeah.
I know we all have a weekness.
Yes.
Pensane.
I know. I have
Pensane. Yeah.
a sympathetic audience here.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Fortunately for me, I really enjoy cheap fountain pens. So.
I know that. Yes, I know that about you. I have some of those too. I have about 30 pens, and about a dozen of them are really nice ones, and the rest of them are inexpensive. But you know, like I have three Lamy All-Stars, and
Oh yeah,
they're fun, and I like the interchangeable nibs. And one of them I use especially to write birthday and Christmas letters to people. It has a really broad nib, so I don't have to say so much in the letter because you can't fit very much on. And I use one
Yeah.
of those sheening and sparkling inks, a green one with gold sparkles, I think, from, I forget the company. But when I sent the first one to my daughter, who's a very Harry Potter fan, she said she thought she'd gotten a letter from Hogwarts. So that was kind of fun.
Oh, one of the fountain pen inks I have is Slytherin green.
Ah,
Yeah. Yep. It's actually a really good one too. It's one of
Is
my
that the-
favorite green inks.
oh, it's a pen. Who makes it?
Montegrappa.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to look for it. I have a couple of green inks, and actually that's my favorite. Even before I've been using fountain pens since I was in junior high school, which was a lot of years ago. But writing with green had kind of become my sort of favorite. And then I found out that I think Bilbo Baggins used to write with green ink, and I was even happier. So
Oh, interesting.
I don't remember that. Now, where did you notice that he used to write with green ink?
well, either I'm making it up or it might have been in the appendixes. I'm not sure. It's where he talks
Yeah.
about he wrote with his handwriting was rather spidery, but he wrote with green ink. So if anybody can find
Interesting.
that for me, I'll be happy to.
I'd like to find that detail. I've just read those books so many times, the trilogy and The Hobbit, that I would have thought I would have in Farmer Giles a ham and
Yeah. I like the song where I have a recording of Tolkien singing and speaking. And one of the songs he sings, "To roll, sat alone on a seat of stone, and munched and mumbled a bare old bone." Anyway, that goes on and on, but it's great to hear him talk. And he goes up about a half step, a whole step as the song goes on. It gets a little bit higher.
Oh wow.
Kind of, you don't notice it unless you're a professional musician or crazy or both. I mean, I'm not sure there's a separation there.
Have you read how do you say it, Silmarillion? Have you read that one?
Yes, it's like reading a history book. I get really bored with it, but
I know I couldn't
boy.
read it.
in fact, I have a couple of first editions of it that I bought. But it's one of some of my favorite things to read. I like to read it now. I like to read my favorite parts. I guess the way people read scriptures. You don't start from cover to cover, but you say, "Oh, I'm going to go read about Tom Bombadil now," or "I'll read about this particular battle," and I'm getting that way with many movies as well. I don't like to watch the whole things, but I'll have scenes and not just the Tolkien ones that I prefer to watch, and then the rest of it can just go away.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
So anyway,
like
thanks
the
for
Merlin
your
and all
help
that?
about all that
course.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and I also found my typewriter guy disappeared, but I found another one that's about a 45-minute drive instead of 10 minutes.
Uh-huh.
But I'll have to try them out. Maybe I'll take this. I can't figure it. I'll take the Skywriter in and say, "Help, see what you can do."
Yeah. Yeah.
This was
Oh,
an link
yeah,
I just got.
Oh,
So this is
Colorverse.
Colorverse, yeah. The other one was the small one that came with it is Redwood Forest with is green. Just you're talking about green inks.
Yeah.
This one's
See,
Coastal Redwood.
My current favorite green ink is Diamine. I think it is Sherwood Forest Green or something very much like that.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yes, that's a good one.
I like it a little better than the Mont Blanc green. It's Sherwood Green, I think it's called. Anyway, it's a little darker, which I like.
Yes. Yes.
Except for the shimmery one. That's kind of fun still too.
Yeah.
We're right there with you, Christopher.
Oh,
Sorry?
yeah.
We're right there with you on the fountain pen.
Yes.
I have assumed that. Yes.
And it's interesting to note that the fountain pen community has something vaguely similar to this, although they don't do it live. But his name is Larry something, Larry the Pen Guy or something like that.
Larry the Pen.
He does these Zoom meetings and they record it and then they post the recording. So it's not quite the same, but you still get a variety of people on there. And
Well, nobody's
Yeah.
as good as here. I mean, you do
oh,
it, you do it the best.
oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
So do I. It's nice.
Oh,
Thank you.
I appreciate it too.
cool.
I watched part of that one, Gregory. I wasn't disappointed with it, but it felt more fulfilling here. I don't know why. Maybe it's
Oh.
because I know all of you by face now.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Or maybe it's the subject also as part of it to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Excellent. All right. Let's see. Sam, how are you? You're cozy in your hat.
I'm trying to get the question answered on the Bilbo Baggins ink, but usually I can pull something up quickly, but it's usually if I have a little more time, but I'm not finding what I'm looking for.
I'm gonna Google it while we're waiting.
Yeah, I was trying to do that too, using different words. It's in a red leather bound book. I know that now. My biggest typewriter errors happen when I switch from my computer to a typewriter or switch typewriter to typewriter. Asterisks and apostrophes are not where they're supposed to be. I get lots of 8s or a fraction if I'm using the my Empire Aristocrat, which I've been typing all my many letters to because I'm now involved in Type Pals, Post Crossing, Incarimo, and other letters. So I received like a huge amount in the last week after months of nothing at all.
Nice.
And so I found this cool book. I was in Salem for a concert of Bruce Coburn, and I dragged my friend around to go to the antique stores, and we found a really nice one. And I'm pet sitting again at a different place for this guy here. I'll turn this is General Zod. Let's see. Oops, let me, there he is.
Oh,
All right.
a very plump corgi.
Oh my gosh, yes, he is. That is General Zod.
Oh man.
I've been.
I would have called him Sergeant Schultz, I think.
I don't think he was quite that chubby before. Over Thanksgiving, there's like 15 stairs that lead up to this apartment. And over Thanksgiving, because this is maybe the 6th time that I've pet house sit for him, he didn't want to go up the stairs. And so he had his front legs up and he would not go up. So I put the front legs up and then I had to pick up the back legs. Now he's sideways. And come on. And he would not do it. Front legs, back legs. And the people up top here were laughing. He would not, he just would not get up the stairs. And I can't carry him. There's no way. He's like a huge barrel and very solid. But he's a really good boy. He can be left for several hours and not pee or poop. I think he farts a lot though, because when I get here after he's been alone for like 8 to 10 hours, it stinks up here. But anyways, yeah, this logbook that I picked up, I've started using it to separate because I haven't been keeping track. So now I have a page for Incarimo, Post Crossing, Type Pals, Friends, and I'm working on that. And I picked up a couple of typewriter tins while I was there, like 3 of them. And they were like $3. There was another one that was more than I wanted to pay. It was really a nice one, but I wasn't about to pay $35. I'm basically, since the last time I was on, let's see, I had a birthday. That was a lot of
Happy birthday.
fun. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
A friend of mine, because I was like, oh, who wants to do something? It's just like a regular day. It's not something special, which my own day was still nothing special. But a friend said, hey, I've got a ticket to the Keller Auditorium for the life story of the Temptations. And let's go out to dinner. So we went over and had a Spanish coffee from my friend who's been doing them for 40 something years. And we saw a great musical about the Temptations.
There's a movie about them too. That's like their life story that I saw a couple of years ago.
Yeah, this was an actual play. She had front row seats. So it was an actual
Nice.
musical play. And it was really, really cool. We were right
nice.
there. And it was a lot
Wow.
of fun to watch. It was nice to be treated. I also have a gentleman friend who I'm not interested in that way. And he wanted to take me to the coast. And I asked my roommate, who's in his 70s, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. You know, we're going overnight. He got a room with 2 beds. And I feel like even though we've made it clear that I've made it clear that it's a platonic relationship and he's okay with that, I feel like I should be paying my way. And then I thought, well, shoot, if I'm paying my own way, I could just go to the coast and spend the night myself. So I asked my friend, my landlord, roommate, owner, Paul, what do I do? You know, give me a man's perspective. And he goes, Sam, the guy wants to treat you. Let him treat you. And it just feels weird because I'm used to paying my way, you know, for everything and all that. So we went and it was fun, but he's kind of boring. But anyway, aside from that, I have no new typewriters. I've just been working. Another opportunity fell into my hands on Thursday, Fridays, and Sundays for Beautifica. I don't know if anyone's heard about it. It's like one of those shows that shows at the planetarium, you know, a 1-hour immersive musical visual thing by a guy named James Woods, who is the drummer for the Pretenders. And you go and sit there for an hour. It's kind of like Laser Floyd, only more intense now. And I work a total of anywhere between 3 and 5 hours, and they pay you a flat fee of $135. So I jumped on it, and I get a big fat paycheck in March. And unless another typewriter pops up that I would like, I'm going to at least take 1 or 2 and have platens put on them. My Remington, my folding typewriter, and probably this one here too. This guy.
Ah, nice.
And
Yeah.
I know that there's someone, and no one's answered me, where can I get a new sticker? There's somebody who sells them, and I have not been able to find out who. Does anybody know?
I don't know. I know. Oh, she hasn't been on in a very long time, so I don't remember her name. But there's someone that does. She's most known for doing the legends for the typewriter
Lee.
keys.
Lee Whitaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if she could do something like that. Lee Whitaker.
I saw somewhere, and I have not been able to find it again. It was somebody who had stickers for all sorts of machines. It's been a couple months, and it might have been in Europe somewhere, or decals rather. Is the proper.
Decals, yeah.
So Etsy has some people that do that, and I'm not sure
Yeah.
eBay may also.
Who is it?
Paul Robert. Paul Robert.
Oh, is that his first name, or call him, like call on the phone?
No, Paul.
Paul with a P.
Paul. Oh, okay, got it. Paul Robert, got it, for decals.
You can find them on Etsy.
That's it.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that's so all these lovely letters that I've gotten have shamed me in just sending a simple postcard or something with a sticker on it. So I've been on Etsy downloading all sorts of download things. I'm going to make my little typewriter, fake little typewriter thing here, and ordered a bunch of stuff to write on Western Union, these kind of things.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm working on finding paper for my first zine, which I'm having a little trouble with. But by the time I start market in a couple of weeks, I want to have a little when they say, where can I see your poems? I'm trying to create some passive income and have a little foldable kind of, this kind of little thing.
Yeah.
And I'm working on it. I'm having a hard time finding the right paper. So, I've been working on doing it at home. It's really basic because until the money starts coming in, I can't afford to have it professionally printed, but I'll doctor it up by putting a string on it and a wax stamp on it so that if they give it as a gift, that person can be the first person to flip it open instead of something that's already been looked through. Exactly. So there's the gifting. And Larry, you were talking about marketing. One of the things I do over at the Beautifica thing is we get there an hour and a half early and we check people in, and we have a merchandise table where we set up all the merchandise, and they keep giving it to me since I'm used to setting up merch for selling. And so I've cleaned it up. We've got all the logo marked on one table, and then all this other stuff that who knows why we're selling it. And then I organized it and labeled it. And as of today, everything should be a lot easier to set up, but they've made me the merch queen. So I don't mind doing it.
Yeah.
But I'm just working a lot. Pet sitting, working, just trying to make sure rent gets paid. And then I can start, looking at typewriters again, or at least the ones that I have.
Yeah. Excellent.
You have a color printer?
Yes, I do.
The reason I wondered is because you can take a picture of your sticker or even go online and find a picture, and you can get some sticker paper, Office Max or whatever, and print out your own sticker.
Yeah, nobody's got anything up here. Everywhere I go, they're like, well, we did have one here. There's just, I don't know what it is, but paper seems to be, at Office Max, Office Depot, whatever, Staples. I've been running around at all three places and have actually, somebody actually gave me some of this. It's glossy on both sides, which I don't want. The only way to get around it is to give them my info and have them print it. But I've just been really digging into it this week. And I'll probably end up buying something online. I'll be looking up all those kind of questions about stickers and making my own and looking online for different ideas. And I'm there working on it.
Okay, excellent. All right, well, it's so good to see you.
Yeah, good to see all you. I haven't been able to get on for a while, and I'm there. I'm here. I'm there.
Excellent.
And I owe you a letter. I've got something very special to send you. And Larry, I haven't forgotten yet about your music. I have seemed to have mislocated the poem I started for you. It's somewhere. I need one of those things that Daniel's talking about, because I've got everything just piled on top, and then I'm looking for something, and you pull one thing out and everything's on the floor, and you don't have time to put it up, but you don't want to step on it. So
well, a poem is kind of like life, everything changes all the time, so it doesn't matter. Just change it or what, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Well, I already put the effort into it.
Well, then I want to see it the way you want me to see it. I'm just saying, it's
I'm just a little bit behind. And May, how's your dad doing, May?
Better.
Okay, I've been watching your posts.
Yeah. If I haven't updated, then he's the same as he was the last post. Although I haven't updated about him getting out of bed. So that happened today. And so I mentioned earlier.
I've been keeping
that was
up with
actually
it.
a good thing. Not supposed to, but it's a good thing that he can.
Well, I've been keeping up with that, even though I haven't commented. I just push a thumbs up or something. And watch him just to be there.
Well, there's not a whole lot you can say except, the same thing over and over, sorry, good luck, prayers, and hang in there, it's like, I know you're thinking it.
Yeah. Excellent.
Right, well,
but that good positive energy you get from it's always that's always good to keep positive energy going, because
course.
if people don't know, they can't send you positive energy either.
I like
That's
supporting
true.
my typewriter pals
I
in
feel
one
like
way
we
or
should
another.
always, we should always
Yeah.
be sending positive energy as a default anyway,
Well,
right?
that's true.
I know, right?
But you
Yeah.
wouldn't, if I didn't see you here, if I never saw you, then I wouldn't know, though. That's what my
True.
point was, is
That's true.
that I
That's
like
true.
being updated. So I'm
Yeah,
glad
you might say
updated.
something insensitive about like stroking out or something, and I'm, it would hurt my feelings a little bit.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
I do my
Yeah.
best to
I don't-
send positive energy, but even though I'm an Aquarius, I have all this Scorpio in the background. So I'm really, really nice until someone pushes me too far, and then I hit before I even know what to do, because that's what Scorpions do. But I keep it in control mostly. You have to speak kindly to these West Coast people. You can't just talk to them like my Chicago roots. You have to, come up with 40 words to just say something
Yeah.
instead of like, hey, yeah. So, but you have to
Yeah.
make it feel like they're being petted nicely, and no matter what.
Lots of euphemisms.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Christopher, did you see in the chat that Alan came up with a potential answer for you? Here in the
Oh,
Zoom
about the
chat.
green.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you're muted, Christopher.
oh, cool.
Sorry. What did he come up with? Thank you.
Let's see. It was quite a lot, but I suppose I can read it. Let's see here.
Oh, it's in the
Where is
chat.
it?
Can you click on the chat? But I suppose, the Zoom doesn't, show in YouTube.
so
So YouTubers might want to know, right?
It looks like he posed the question to Chat GPT, which is AI.
Yes.
And it says, you are correct. There is a mention of Bilbo using green ink in the Lord of the Rings appendix,
Yeah.
titled The Tale of Years.
Okay.
In the entry for the year 3001 of the Third Age, which is the year when Bilbo left the Shire and Frodo inherited the ring, it says, quote, Bilbo finishes his book, he leaves it to Frodo, along with his round gold ring in a case on which is written, my preciouses, and Bilbo from his loving Hobbiton. This suggests that Bilbo used green ink to write his book, although it is not clear whether he used green ink for all of his writing or just for certain parts.
Thank you.
So
no,
yeah, so
my
that's what he came up with.
precious is what Gollum said. I wonder if AI confused that. I wonder.
I don't know. But AI is scary.
Yeah, who knows? It puts
Yeah.
all kinds of things together, but that's interesting though.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be easier to find now.
Yeah. I don't know if Alan wants to pop on and say hi or anything, but he's been here the whole time, so yeah.
Yeah. Chat GPT can lie sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
Yeah, because
Definitely.
it's just artificial intelligence, just like people can lie. It comes up with the construct, even if a person doesn't think they're lying, they have a brain construct of what they're thinking of, and they say it, and it maybe their memory is not correct. But
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that's not correct either, because it sounds like, since Christopher brought that up and he seemed to remember it, and now AI seems to remember it, it probably is.
Yeah.
And that would be a place to look, to the appendix too.
Yeah.
When I first went to Chat GPT, the first answer I got said it was black ink. But then while we were talking, someone said something about the appendix. So I added that as part of the question. And that's how it came up with more detail.
Interesting.
Oh.
Didn't he have a round green? Wasn't his door green? There's round green door. And then I know Gandalf scratched in it, and then he pounded in the Hobbit. So I was wondering if that's where the green reference came from, but I don't know.
Well, maybe this means my intelligence is artificial.
You know, I'd like to find out, but I mean, shoot, green. I love the color green. I love my Hermes green. I would like a Volkswagen Beetle, a 61 or 63, 60, somewhere between there in this exact color. I love that. That's the original Beetle colors. I think they called it turquoise or something.
In fact, I taught myself to write that Elvish script, and I wrote letters to a certain friend and journal entries, and there are pages and pages that I can't read anymore. But the very first fountain pen I bought because it had, you know, so you could write thick and thin. It's a Mont Blanc 220 sort of, and I bought it for like $20 or $30 about 1978 at an office supply store in Germany.
Wow.
And it's still in some ways my very favorite nib, just like my first typewriter is still maybe my favorite typewriter. So
that is excellent. And thanks to Alan for finding that answer.
Yes, Alan.
Or that potential answer, I guess. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, definitely.
I think that's probably where I read it. It was probably just that minuscule mention of probably I'll have to go.
Yeah.
I've got a complete set of the books. I've lent them out and they haven't come back, but
there you go.
Look it up and see what I can find. Thanks for checking.
And he's writing his memoirs at the end of the book. So maybe it was in that part too. I don't know. I just don't remember that reference, but that doesn't mean it wasn't sure.
Well, I scoured the appendixes and I was really into it for a long time.
Yeah.
Excellent. So it was interesting yesterday. My wife and I were driving to do some cat sitting, the 13 cats, and we were driving behind this really, really slow classic car. And then I looked because I didn't recognize the type of car it was. So I looked at the model or whatever, and it was Futura. And I was like, I told my wife, that's a model of a typewriter also. I'm not familiar with the Futura car. I don't know if what's that?
It was the Futura, but is that the company or is that
I don't know. It just said Futura, and I was like, oh,
sounds like a Buick.
Futura
okay.
800.
But I don't know. Good question.
But my goodness, they were driving slow.
Lincoln.
Sometimes you just can't go fast in old cars.
Yeah, I told my wife I think he's afraid his car is going to fall apart.
Like a Batmobile.
Yeah.
Looking at it on Google. Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
Futura.
Okay.
Oh, Lincoln.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Lincoln?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've spoken to everyone, and there's just a few minutes left. So if anyone has any last minute questions or comments or suggestions. Oh, I do want to remind people that today is the last day to register for the postcard exchange. So if you want to participate, you do have to be signed up and logged in to access the postcard exchange on the events page. So be sure and do that. I'm not even sure how many people are signed up for it right now, but
and if you have a military ID, you can go to the Coast Guard Exchange anytime you want. You don't have to register or anything.
Well, that's good. Do they have postcards there?
No, Coast Guard.
Oh, Coast Guard. Got it.
Oh, yeah. Coast Guard.
Oh man, Larry.
Tight pants. You and your dad joke.
Nice one.
Oh, yes.
Thanks,
Yeah, but if no one else has anything, I guess we'll wrap up for today. But it's been fun as always.
Yes, it has been.
Yeah.
We appreciate your effort. Thank you.
Yes,
so much.
thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I appreciate all you guys do, because you guys are like the brain, and I'm just like,
yeah, it would be kind of weird.
Made a place for the brain.
Yeah, just Gregory.
Postcard exchange.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next
See you
time.
later. All right.
Bye-bye.
Typing.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Registered.
Bye.